plans are underway to rejig the NPAR scheme to accommodate more people and ensure prompt payment of beneficiaries' stipends. Edu disclosed this in a statement issued by her special advisor on media and publicity, Rashid Zubai. According to the statement, the minister said challenges faced by NPAR beneficiaries in terms of delay in payment of their stipends would soon be addressed. She also said the ministry planned to establish humanitarian hubs across the 774 local government areas in the country, adding that it would be a long-term goal towards eradicating poverty in Nigeria. She explained that the hubs will accommodate home-grown commodities which will be sold at cheaper rates to Nigerians. The statement also said the ministry would send its staff to all the local government areas to get feedback in addition to engaging in digital tracking of the palliatives. A report says no fewer than 40 aircraft belonging to domestic airlines are currently grounded in maintenance facilities abroad and in Nigeria due to lack of access to foreign exchange from the Central Bank of Nigeria to pay the necessary bills. While over 30 airplanes are stranded overseas, a little above 10 aircraft are grounded in Nigeria due to lack of forex to acquire some major spare parts from abroad. Aside from the grounded planes, some operators are unable to acquire new aircraft engines to replace old ones that have completed their cycles due to dollar scarcity. Airline officials said the development might worsen the current flight disruptions being experienced by passengers occasioned by a shortage of airlines. Operators are seeking forex to pay foreign aircraft maintenance facilities and acquire spare parts from abroad for the aircraft undergoing maintenance locally. The federal government says it will examine frequent cases of flight cancellations and delays and also look at enforcing regulations on such issues. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Kayamo, disclosed this during a recent visit to the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. According to the head press and public relations of the ministry, Odutayo Oluseyi said 60% of funds revenue comes from Lagos, emphasizing the need to utilize the new terminal effectively. He added that the new terminal boasts 60 check-in points and has the capability to handle a significant number of air traffic. He said the federal government had expressed its desire to maximize the revenue-generating capacity of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. Despite prolonged inflation, interest rate hikes, insecurity and other macroeconomic challenges, the Nigerian Exchange Limited has emerged as the second best performing exchange in Africa in the last 3 months. A breakdown of the performance showed that the market capitalization, which stood at 20.034 trillion naira at the beginning of June, rose to 36,422 trillion naira at the end of the transaction on August 31, representing an increase of 16.388 trillion naira, while the all-share index appreciated by 41.2% from 38,403 to 66,548.99. With the Development African Markets, a website that tracks the performance of exchanges in Africa, indicated that Ghana Stock Exchange returned emerged first, while NGX emerged second in the list, followed by Malawi Stock Exchange. On the foreign scene, Italy's shock tax on banks continues to prove controversial, even as the government insists it can improve it. Europe's main bank stock index fell almost 3% after the Italian government announced plans to impose a 40% windfall tax on banks' profits. The move caught traders off guard and sent shockwaves throughout the continent. The market reaction and widespread backlash pushed Rome to tone down the plans within 24 hours. Italy's former Deputy Minister of Economic Development warned the policy could put off international investors. And that's the business news update on Today95.1 FM. Good afternoon. I am Lucky Maxwell.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Every day, we hear reports about counterfeit products, stories of fake drugs, food, expired goods and other consumables being manufactured, imported and sold to unsuspecting members of the public. Findings reveal that Africa records at least 100,000 deaths from fake drugs-related ailments yearly. These fake and substandard products, particularly drugs, have been considered a global threat to human lives. And despite efforts by authorized agencies in Nigeria to combat the menace, the Nigerian market remains flooded with different unwholesome products. This is a plea to all those who manufacture and sell these goods to desist. Stop this menace of counterfeit products. Let's place value on human lives. And should you have purchased a counterfeit product or unsatisfied with the product, please contact SON or Consumer Protection Agency. This message is powered by Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
You also sing the word.
For that station, John.
Don't worry you.
You're about to listen to
551.
Get ready. It's the world of broadcasting as Today 95.1 FM brings you entertainment, information, education as they unfold every day.
Today 95.1 FM.
Do you know that I'm necessarily mentioned? Do you think I used to climb from tree alone in this video?
So, yeah, you see, you've not benefited anything from Nigeria.
What was your favorite Nigerian movie growing up? 1, 2, 3. Isakaba. Yeah. You took time. Conspiracy.
Today 95.1 FM. Don't touch that dial. Make sure you are tuned to your numero uno.
Tell me, where's your money now?
Why, man? I will man cake, I know.
95.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's take you into a realm, another dimension, a reality of higher intelligence, discovery, and quantum possibilities. Tune in every Monday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on this station and be part of this journey as we address issues that relate to you and your tech life. It is Today's Tech Show on your premium talk, news and sports station. Today, 95.1 FM.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's take you into a realm, another dimension, a reality of higher intelligence, discovery, and quantum possibilities. Tune in every month this station and be part of this journey as we address issues that relate to you and your tech life. It is Today's Tech Show on your premium talk, news and sports station. Today, on your premium talk, news and sports station. Today, 95.1 FM.
Out here on the road chasing my dream because I know I'm chasing for me. All I did man but my love. But I'm got the edition my love. Everyone see like Jack on my love. No they find anybody that money I want. But they hear what the people they know. Want to get a shakeleti love. It's a love and I wanna get another one. I go take and do waiting I love. Waiting you love. No be waiting I love. Waiting I love. I go do what we love my heart. But I know I know the ways that maybe I want but they hear what people they do. Want to get a shakeleti love. It's love and I wanna get another one. I go take and do waiting I love. Waiting you love.
It's 11 minutes gone past the hour of 1 p.m., right? 1 p.m. And this is your premium talk news and sports station, Today 95.1 FM. Wondering why I started with this song. It has so much to do with what we are going to be discussing right now, okay? Because it's the tech show right here on Today 95.1 FM, where we talk about tech and talk about how you can use tech to make money for yourself. So when you hear Shaka saying, it's money I want, it's lonely, that is the truth and nothing but the truth. You know, if you're not making money with your skill, if you're not making money with what you have as a craft, as a job, as, you know, your source of livelihood, if you're not making money from that, Maybe you are lonely at the bottom, not even at the top. So, on the Tech Show, we'll teach you how to maximize your skill using tech to make more money. Okay, so that's what the show is going to be all about. We'll have the tech report segment where I'll be sharing with you the tech reports for the week. I'll also bring to you the tech skill money time, which is going to be an interesting one, especially for the people they call baby boomers.
When the weather becomes strict and everything becomes unsteady, the only way to go is tune to Today 95.1 FM. And the world of information, entertainment, and education will be served as breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Welcome to the show. You're listening to today's Quest. A newspaper review segment is what we've
Now
got.
who says I can't bring the party to your house right now? Because, even if it's raining, I still bring the heat right here.
I am here for you, and I know you are here for me.
It is surely the best 15 minutes of football you can find anywhere on radio.
Back here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. Today, 95.1 FM. Nothing but the best. Nothing but the best.
Okay, welcome back. Time check is 15 minutes gone past the hour of 1. This is still Today 95.1 FM. Like I said, it's the tech report segment. Let's move straight to the first report I have here, which says life may no longer be so sweet for criminals in Nigeria if the 112 emergency toll line free, or the toll-free lines the Nigerian Communications Commission is linking up across the country will be achieved anytime soon. Now, we know that there is always the problem of getting across to authorities to act swiftly in terms of responding to emergency situations or responding to distress calls by people. So the Nigerian Communication Commission is working on something that might just help, let me use a word that Michael is always accusing me of, mitigate the issue. If we have the 112 toll-free lines, we might just see swift responses. This is according to the Nigerian Communication Commission. It says, in fact, it will be a typical example of how technology breathes down on the neck of insecurity as witnessed in developed economies. Now, it says operating in similar design to the 911 emergency numbers in some developed parts of the world, 112 provides succor to victims or witnesses of violent attacks or those under distress or emergency arising from fire outbreaks, domestic and road accidents, and health crisis. Let's quickly get to this because of the time. Mr. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. Good afternoon. Michael, how are you doing? Good afternoon.
Hi.
I see you already making content for the show this afternoon. All right, so 112 as against 911, the toll-free lines for emergency. What are the prospects of this happening without glitches in Nigeria? And then I'm also going to ask again, the possibilities of the response authorities coming swift to responding, to the distress calls people will be making. Do you see possibilities with this?
Well, let me start from the idea of creating a toll-free emergency line, which is the 112.
Yeah.
As it's been there for some time, but maybe they want to take it more serious now. But I think the problem isn't about creating a 112 toll-free line.
Yeah.
That's not where the challenge really lies. The challenge really lies in, what about the infrastructure? Now, let me give you an instance. I was trying to talk to someone 2 hours ago, and the person, I've not been able to reach the person. I wasn't able to reach the person in 1 hour.
Okay.
Because the network where he or she is located is poor. Now, if the network where he or she is located is poor, what will be different if the toll-free line of 112 is launched? If there's a criminal activity going on in that area, how will that person be reached? The bottom line of what I'm talking about is we have an infrastructural problem. The NCC need to put its foot down issues. He has sent them some money. They've not gotten the alert.
He's not calling to tell them to confirm.
And he has not been able to reach them.
Wow.
So these are part of the challenges. Let's solve these infrastructural challenges. Creating codes 112 is about sensitization. It's not about creating 112 and all that. You need to work with agencies like the National Orientation Agency. I mean the NCC.
To tell everyone,
work with them.
Tell the old women, tell the young people.
They have to find a way of passing it across. It's easier for some of us in the urban areas to get this information. What happens in the rural areas? How many of those people get to listen to radio? The NCC too need to partner with the media to push this across. They need to also work with social media platforms, the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the rest of them, because a mother or a father may not be able to see that information, but the son or the daughter who is on Facebook, who is reading something on a blog, will be able to say, oh, with this code you could reach out to the police, you understand, or on emergency situations. So sensitization is key. It is not just creating the idea. Sensitization. How many people will be able to find out? You understand? We'll get to know that this code will make you reach out to the police. And another thing I'll get to talk about on this issue is, when you talk about these codes, I hope at the end of the day you are able to change the notion the people have. We've seen situations whereby people complain that when they try to reach out to certain arms of government, they are asked to provide necessary tools for their
mobilization
and the rest of them. So my question again to the NCC is, I hope it is part of their plan to resolve challenges like this, because if they don't resolve it, they're just wasting their time.
All right, quick thoughts from you, Michael. 112 emergency response system for Nigeria, juxtaposing it with the 911 emergency response in other parts of the world. What are the possibilities of this being very effective to the standard where everyone who's in distress can put a call through 112 and then get that response?
Thank you, Dave. You know, the thing is, I feel like Paul has been going like too far, and he has not even. He's going too far for me. I feel like he's yet to hit the hammer on the head.
The nail on the head.
Yes, exactly. So that is one thing I feel like he's doing, that he's saying. I mean, he's going too far. I feel like before we count three, we should count one first. You understand? That's what I mean. Now, when you want to compare 911, 112, you always see, like in movies, not just in movies, but we've seen in real lifetime where you see people call 911 and you see the emergency people ask, what's your emergency,
where's
and
the location?
And in the next 5 minutes there's this proper communication. You see people there already, but
a chain of communication.
Yes, not just that, the chain, everything is functioning. It functions properly. Unlike let me use an example. Our police station, we've seen, let's leave the 112 and the emergency response number, where you call maybe fire service, where you call police station, where you call every other emergency response service. We've seen situations where in police stations where you have the numbers where they tell you
call this number
if there's an issue. And most times I've had issues like that when there's sort of like a case, a robbery case or something, where you call police and you notice they don't show up till like
1 hour, 2 hours.
Almost, it's like they just plan and know when. What they do is after everything has happened, they come later
to arrest every other person.
Exactly. So that's where the problem is. Even down to the fire service, where you see fire, you call them, they tell you, we don't get water for our truck. It's not a new thing to us. So I feel like these are the things we should address
first,
the challenges before even think. That's why I get angry when I hear things like this. When we want to copy all those things
without structure.
Exactly. So there should be a structure first before even thinking of this whole one. It's a waste of, for me, I just see it as somebody coming up with, it's a good idea, but then have you arranged your house first
before inviting visitors?
So that's the thing there. So it is unnecessary for me. It's a waste of time. It will not work. I'm saying it to you.
Michael, let me just add something to what you're saying.
You
know, there's a chain of communication here. For instance, there's a medical or there's a fire outbreak. You're putting a 112 distress call. you're expected to see police officers there at the scene of the event. You're supposed to see fire
paramedics and
paramedics. You're supposed to see ambulance teams there. You're supposed to see
that's the thing I'm saying. Now with the current price of fuel, with how many have you seen ambulances in Nigeria, Dave? Let's be sincere. How many hospitals, how many big hospitals in Nigeria have is functioning ambulance? You understand? The willingness to work is another thing. Okay, Dave, let us leave emergency response and the rest. Now let us look at it like this. Do you know how many times they've rushed people to the hospital and there was nothing they could do? Many times we've had people complain that this woman would have not died if something. Sometimes you notice that it is even small things like the nurse just needed to check, they needed to do this, they needed to do that, but because of the nonchalant attitude of these nurses and doctors that we have, you notice that something that is not even supposed to happen has happened. You understand? So that's the thing that we should address these things, because let us even imagine it is functioning properly. There's a proper chain
of communication.
Exactly, chain of communications, and they are able to get these persons to the hospital minus the traffic, minus the fuel, no fuel and everything, minus the cars and every other thing, and they get to the hospital. What is the difference between that 911 call and the normal call where a certain hospital in Port Harcourt you rush somebody to
and then
nothing? I've even heard of one time like that. We went to the hospital where we took somebody to the hospital. We had one case where they said there was a gunshot wound and something like that, and what they did was they just asked the person to sit on the chair there.
No, I've had this conversation with a doctor before.
Yes.
There are different types of emergencies. There's the red alert, there's a white alert, a yellow, a lot of them. So on their scale of priority, they think if somebody who has an issue with breath is brought to the hospital, and a person who has an issue with a gunshot, they would address the issue with breath first before the gunshot injury.
Now, Dave, that it depends. For me, I feel like it depends on where the particular gunshot injury is. I don't think if it's something that is very complicated.
Anything that restricts the airways is considered a more critical emergency.
That's one thing, Dave. That's one thing. Another thing is this. Let's look at it that way. Even if you bring somebody with breath issues to the hospital, now the thing is this: you have to pay for bed space, you have to pay for oxygen, you have to pay for some certain things. And if you don't make payment, if you don't deposit, if you don't show a sign of seriousness, they would not attend to you. Right. That's one thing there. But I've seen in many cases where in the US and other places where maybe there is a case of injuries and gunshot and the rest. I'm not even talking about now. In this case, there was no. It wasn't like there was an emergency where you have a case of breath and a case of gunshot injury. It was not. I mean, that was like one of the most serious this and at that time, and they just said, sit down there. No, you if you're the first person, you are like you just begin to wonder.
I know you're pretty.
So that's the thing. So I feel like Dave, sorry, but I feel like these are the things we should address. Truth be told. So even if we have a functioning chain of command and the call whatever and the rest, and these things are not put in place,
nothing will work.
It will not work.
All right. As we're talking, Engineer Sibo walked in. Good afternoon, Engineer Sibo. Nice to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you
good afternoon.
very much.
You have something you do with your facial. So 1 week you appear with beards, the next you appear with hair, and you're just constantly reinventing. You're welcome.
Thank you
Just before you came in, we were talking about the new 112 code emergency response number, like the United States, where 911 wants your emergency, and then in fact, our location is a problem. Michael, GPS location. What's your thoughts on this? Just 1 minute before we move on.
It's very, very. It's a welcome. It's a very nice development.
Okay.
Yes, very, very. If we can embrace the new tech, is very, very welcome. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So Engineer Sibo thinks it's a welcomed idea. Paul thinks some things need to be done. Michael thinks
it's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
No, it won't work based on Nigeria system, and it's all based on if they embrace they see we have a lot of issues, we have a lot of problems, a lot of incidents that occurs, ugly incidents. So this is a welcome idea, only for them to
do the proper
they do the needful.
I'm even thinking Nigerians can be funny. You know, someone just picks up a phone, puts a prank call, and see if it works. I heard someone doing that one time. Anyway, send your thoughts, okay? Send your thoughts to the number 0701 933 9962. 0701 933 9962. 112, the emergency response number as given by the NCC, to be launched at some point. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think you will subscribe to it? Do you think it will be, like Engineer Isibo said, a welcome development where people can call if there's a fire emergency, if there's a, robbery incidents, car theft? Do you think we have grown to that stage?
I remember one incident where, all these loan companies where they call people, you take loans with your numbers and the rest. I heard some people were using those emergency numbers, maybe a police response number now to take loans. So at the end of the month, after not paying, then you see people calling police.
So police do that guarantor.
Oh, thank God it's just a short call. Thank God it's just a short code.
Nigeria's bad, man. Anyways, let's move to the main conversation for today before we get into the different segments. On Friday this week is going to be World Literacy Day. So I decided, you know what, let's just coin it into what we term computer literacy or IT literacy, internet, ICT, information communication and technology literacy. How many elderly people are receptive to the changes that are coming with the tech wave? How many elderly people, how many senior citizens, the ones they call baby boomers, the ones who, like I was mentioning to Paul, who were born before the independence of Nigeria, who are older than Nigeria, how many of them who are in key offices and positions in government, in public parastatals and private parastatals, are receptive, to the tech innovations and the tech changes, that constantly come to us. Now, we have a problem with welcoming new ideas, especially in Nigeria.
Yes.
People want to, let's do it the old way, carry papers, move from this office to the other office, let's sign. I want to see the transfer, I want to see my cash in hand. But when it comes to literacy, it's not just with books. The fact that you can read and write. If you're not digitally literate, then there is a problem right now. Let me start from Engineer Isibo, because you interface with most of these people.
Yes.
How do we push for digital literacy, especially to senior citizens, the ones from 50 and above? Let's give that age category.
Yes, I discovered that the percentage of such literacy is quite low for the aged ones. Yes, it's quite low. So because there are so many factors, they're trying to embrace those technologies. They will say, sometimes they may hand it over to the assistants. Yes. The other will do it for me and all that. So I guess it has to do with let them understand. If they can have a proper orientation, that is how best, how needful, how important it is for them. I think they will embrace it.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. The understanding, the importance of what the digital literacy will do for them.
We do for them.
Yes. What do you have to talk us?
Well, on this issue of digital literacy, I think a large chunk of the challenge we face today in our society in terms of technology are actually caused by the fact that generation you're talking about never took digital literacy serious or important. So as a result, they transferred most of those laxity and unseriousness to their kids, and some of them has also transferred it to their own kids too. And that is why the challenge we are facing in our society today is enormous when it comes to technology. People may not understand. They may think because we have mobile phones, because we have computers, because some schools are now introducing computer learning, or computer training centers are opening up in different parts of the country, they think that is the solution. Or yes, it's the beginning of a solution, but there's a whole lot of work to do. Now, this job we are talking about, we need to first of all make some of these parents that we are talking about understand the importance of technology. Now, the idea in Nigeria about technology, most times when you mention technology, people remember their mobile phone. They remember their computers.
Yes.
The large chunk of them do not remember what those devices or gadgets are actually used for or used to solve. The challenge we are having is because we are not telling this generation or the next generation that in my office we used to have a messenger who carry papers from one area of town to the other. Now they use email to solve that problem, and that has cut short that transport. You understand? That distance in terms of travel time between one part of the state to the other.
Yeah.
So if they are able to tell their kids that technology has helped solve this particular problem, giving them real life examples, it will be understood. But for them to get these real life examples understood, they themselves need to also, no matter how many of them think they are so old, in quotes, that they can't learn, some of them are still finding themselves in civil service. Some of them still find themselves in private organizations. We are not asking you to come and learn how to use Python. We are not asking you to come and learn how to code. What we are saying is there are basic skills. Even in the open market, there are some of these parents that exist there. They found it difficult to embrace the POS machine. They found it difficult to even embrace social media. In fact, some of them call social media 666.
Yes.
I sat in several places where they said this. Now, but we have to start changing this orientation, starting from them, then trickling down to our generation, down to the next generation. But it can't be done all at once. They themselves have to have that mindset that things are changing, not because they are seeing mobile phones now alone, but the advent of mobile phones and computers is changing the world and making life better. Because if they don't begin to, what I'm actually talking about here is they need to begin to say or mention the changes that this technology is bringing to the world.
Yes.
Because they are beginning to experience it through learning too. Because you see some parents, they have a phone. They don't even know how to use the phone. The problem is not, there's nothing wrong in you not knowing how to use the phone, but ability to attempt to learn how to use it to some extent, so that you can be able to tell your age mates in the 50s, 60s, that man, if you learn how to tap this button, phone, you can dial and call your daughter. You have solved the problem. A child listening to you will know that, okay, this mobile phone helps me hear somebody talk on the other side. It could also help me to see information, get information. How you get it. That's why they need to learn the basics of technology, so that it will also help their world. Sometimes they spend so much time in the banks because they refuse to learn little things. Not because of their age, actually, because of that unwillingness to learn.
This is where I'm coming to. And I think you should throw some light on it. That fear and resistance for a man who thinks things should be done in the traditional way, and he owns an institution, he owns an office, and he feels you must send me papers, I must see the signatures, I must see everything handwritten. How do you break that fear and resistance, for a man in that category who is elderly, who is a senior citizen?
Now, let's take it from this angle. You cannot break that fear and belief in just one instant. Now, he believes that papers or physical or hard copies have to get to him. He has to go through the signatures, or it's like balancing accounts where you need to now calculate 23 plus 27 plus 32 minus 4. You understand? You start counting your fingers and all that. Now, you can't change them immediately, but gradually the process starts. What do I mean? If, for example, he is calculating with biro and paper, calculating or adding numbers together, allow him do that calculation. Also present him the alternative option. You understand? Digitally, if you press this or you hit these numbers on this button and hit the plus symbol, it gives you an immediate result. Now, at first, he's resistant to this, but maybe after 2-3 occasions, or even after 1 week or 1 month, he's doing this, and this is also going on. It gets to one point one day, he will not do this. He will ask you to bring down your technology Let's use it. That's what he will call it. Bring that to your technology. Let's use it. Why? Because he's beginning to compare the two. He has both options now. He's seeing that the digital solution
is faster
and gives him better results. In fact, it will even break down the result better for him, and it will cut out that time wasting that he has been having here.
All right.
So you have to run both side by side, and he personally will eliminate the analog version.
Yes.
He will eliminate personally the analog version and embrace the digital version.
All right. Before I get to Engineer Sibo, Michael, quickly, for people in this category, in this age category, what kind of basic tools can they use to start? Someone is listening to you and saying, I'm in my 60s and I know nothing about, the computer literacy. I have no idea. I want to, but I don't have any kind of information that would launch me into this. What kind of baby steps do they need to take?
First of all, I want to say, Engineer Sibo and Paul have said it all. So the thing is, tech has a lot to do when it comes to our everyday lifestyle. And whether you like it or not, it makes life easy.
Yeah.
So you embracing it means a lot to you. It makes life more easier for you. It makes things more easier for you. It makes things more swift for you. So it depends on what you are or the kind of service you provide. For a market woman, like he said, most of them would not want POS. That's like one easy way to get money or to do a transaction. Because I remember one time in our street, like we said, where during that shortage of cash issue where many people were not yes, exactly. I remember most women that were not ready to take transfer. They didn't want to take transfer. They didn't want to take POS and every other thing, but they just had to do it because the Aboki man in the street started taking transfer, started accepting this. So that's like one way it could do your business. You're a businesswoman, you're a market woman, you should learn to embrace this new thing. Yes, so that's like one way you should learn, you should get yourself acquainted with all those devices. How can you meet somebody, one businesswoman, she tells you, I know they take a transfer, I know they take this, I know they take that. It's crazy because you begin to ask yourself, I don't get bank accounts because right now it's quite easy. Yes, it's quite easy to get one of all these fintech app banking app where you just need only your phone. Exactly. So it's just your phone and it's faster. So that's it. So
first step is embracing.
Yes, your willingness to embrace tech. That's one way. A proper sensitization too should be made. That's why people like us are here to tell people that yes, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. One time we had a segment on the show where you come in and you talk about your business and we'll tell you how to apply tech to your business. So that's one thing. So everybody, every other person needs tech in their life. Like I was saying, we talked about the market woman that goes to the bush market to bring things like plantain, bring things like crayfish. We talked about you don't even need to now stress yourself. Going to the market, coming back, you don't need to stress yourself to go to the market to keep your things there, to start waiting for people to buy. If you have a son or a daughter that can put you through, you can stay at home. You can have your own e-commerce platform at home with maybe your WhatsApp, maybe your Facebook or whatever. You can advertise and you get people to buy from you. Without even owning a shop. So that's the thing. That's the beauty of tech. You don't need to. You can sit at the comfort of your home and you can even you can even get people to pre-order. That's the beautiful thing about it. So you don't even need. If I know that I sell plantain, if I know that I sell crayfish, I see people do that a lot. I don't need to bring it. I can say, get this, get that. I can call my vendor, my supplier, and say, I need a particular amount of crayfish. How much is it? Then I can put it out. I can get pictures, old pictures or new pictures anywhere. I can put it out. I can say, I have this for sale. If you need it, you contact me. 7 days, 3 days, 2 days, you get it. So immediately I see your payment, you get it. So with that, even before you bring your stuff, you've already sold them. So that's the beauty about tech. So anywhere, anything you do, you can apply it to them.
Okay. I'll just add something to it. Find time to go on the internet. Go to YouTube, go to, platforms and... You wanted to correct the notion?
No, you're talking about finding time to go to the internet. Now, that generation, large chunk of them have this idea that the internet is full of fraudsters and it's full of Yahoo boys, according to them. But it's only when you encourage them. They need to be open, just like Michael said, the willingness to learn. They need to be ready to learn. So that when you teach them, they now see that you could use a browser, get to a particular website or a particular app, and then it could help you gather one or two informations on what you need. Make yourself available for training. Be open to learn. Be open to learn. Don't think you sit down in your house and you learn it all. Be open. If it means going out to pay in a training center or pay someone to teach you how to use your mobile phone properly or how to use a computer properly, how can you use your mobile phone to push that business in your shop, you understand, and make money. It requires you to be, one, that willingness to learn, two, making yourself available to learn. You could be willing to learn, but you will not make yourself available to learn because, I need to get this thing, I need to know but at the end of the day, be there now in class or make I come teach you. No, I they do something. No, this one. That's where the problem lies. Until you make yourself available and then you're willing to learn, then some of these ideas we're talking about, because when you mention internet, it's new to some of them. No matter what you think, they've heard the word internet, but what it is and how it is used, you'll be surprised that many of those within the 50s, 60s don't know.
You know what I want to do? I just came up with this idea. How about we bring some of these people into the tech community, today's tech community. If you're 50, you're 60, you're 70, as the case may be, and you feel that you are stuck, you're stranded, and you can't make progress because you don't have digital literacy, we'll offer you some tools and some tips. Would be able to give you direction to some extent. At the end of the show, we'll give out our phone line so we can bring you into the today's tech community and then show you, guide you, because you're still that bank manager, you're still that pastor, you're still that proprietor who needs to be informed with tech.
I think what you're suggesting or proposing isn't a bad idea, but I think we all need to come up with what we'll do. I think after the show, we'll decide and we'll let our listeners know how best we're going to put this. We're not just going to focus on just that generation because we're dealing with a problem that doesn't stop. It cuts across all generations. So we are going to know how best, whether to batch them in different segments or different periods, and then know how best to sensitize different ages. Know how best to sensitize them, know how best to pass knowledge across to them, know how best to let them know the benefits of training, the benefits of knowledge, the benefits of tech knowledge, the benefits of knowing how to do things digitally. Because when we talk about digital literacy, it starts from knowing or acknowledging the fact that technology exists, knowing and acknowledging the fact that technology solves the problem of humanity, and then technology can also be used to skill yourself up. I think that is where we'll head to.
Okay, so we did bite into the time of Michael and Paul. So in the next few minutes, we're just going to be hearing from them. Let's start. Who do we start with? Michael. All right. The tech monetization. Just 3 minutes, Paul, and then finally Engineer Sibyl will wrap up. Don't forget, if you have a skill and you think you want to upgrade using tech, send it to the number 0701 933 9962. 0701 933 9962. All right, so Michael,
for this week, like I said last time we were here, I paused tech monetization for now. So what I really want to do now is mentorship. When it comes to tech monetization, I want to put people through. Like I want to put people through. I want to call them and find out from. I like do a proper sensitization. So I would allow Engineer Sibo do some certain talks. But before then, what I really want to do is, most times many people that I got to find out that many people that called or many people that reach out to me are confused and do not know what they want. So what I really want to do is I'll have a proper meet up with you, sit with you, ask you questions, and we can decide together which one would best suit you. Yeah, so that's what I want to do. So from there, I could tell you this is what we'll do. Then we could do the proper training. But for every other training and the rest, I think Engineer Sibo will do, because we work hand in hand. So he can
put you through.
Yes.
All right. So from the desk of Mr. Engineer Sibo.
Okay. Let me chip it here. First of all, there are two two kind of topics I will really talk about. First, I will talk about there are some fields. There are some fields that don't really, like in terms of advertisement, they don't like fields like barristers and law firms. Medicine. Yeah. You see, and all those related to medicine. So I now thought of something of how do you apply tech to it. You can apply. They can go into TikTok. Yes, there's live TikTok. Conversation, engagement. So for those who are in like for barristers, lawyers, they are people with issues, criminal issues, civil issues, health issues. They can now, with them, with your professionalism, you can sell out, your profession. You can give them a consultancy engagement. Yes. And later they can now engage you. So that is a breakthrough for those in these fields who are limited to traditional advertisement. Yeah. So that is just what I wanted to say. Okay. Then for those, because there are a lot, I have received calls, just like he says, there are people that are confused. They want to go into the tech industry and they really want to know which of the tech skills that are very, very high skill, in
terms of money.
Yes, in terms of, yes. So I will just mention them. I will just mention 5, but there are many. But the 5 tech skills which they can go in and develop, you understand, and have a very high income scale. I will just mention them. The first is data science. Okay. Machine language and artificial intelligence. Very, very important. Artificial intelligence is now used in virtually in every field, be it accounting, finance, be it all over, even in networking. If you are a network engineer, there's what we call automation. Then we talked about the other time IoT. It's all they are all related. Then we have the chat GPT and all that. So that is the high income scale. That is 1. 2, we talked about DevOps and programming. You can learn one of those programming language. You understand? You can learn Python programming and all that. Very, very important, because virtually even in data science you use programming. Yes. Yeah. Then we talked about the third one. We talk about cybersecurity. Okay. These are high income skills. So wherever you can apply your cybersecurity, your pen testing technology for IoT, blockchain, those technology that are sitting on blockchain. You understand? So they can cybersecurity. That is very important. Very, very
because
important.
Because of time, let's go through 4 and 5.
Okay, 4 and 5. Then we talked about cloud. The cloud. When we have Amazon, that is AWS. We have Azure. Please, because most companies are moving their servers to the cloud. You understand? So cloud technology.
Cloud
Yes. So yes. You see, like for example, now you see like an accounting software now. We have something like QuickBooks now. We have online QuickBooks online. So the desktop, though a version is there, but it's very expensive. Even the desktop version now is even online. You have to subscribe. So everyone is moving to the cloud. So
number 5.
Then the 5th one, they can learn a bit of blockchain, blockchain technology.
That's it. But you know the thing is, when you hear all these big words, it's like when you hear these words, they're like one big thing, one big thing. So that's the thing there. So don't be scared. To embrace these tech skills and every other thing. So I mean, you could reach out to us. I work hand in hand with Mr. Isibo. Like I said, what I'll do is mentor you, because he just called out some. But then we'll talk to you and every other thing to let you know what you like. To find out what you like. So you can just reach out to us. You can reach out to me. For me personally, Michael, my number is 070 66, that is 66 219243 070 66219243.
Okay.
So you can chat me up on WhatsApp or call.
Okay, quickly. We'll get to him. We'll definitely get the numbers also. But Paul, before we go.
Yeah, on Anthony Talks segment today, I just want to briefly highlight on the role of a digital content writer. There are so many skills that has been mentioned that people can go and learn when it comes to tech, and particularly on this digital literacy area, there are several other areas. Tech is very broad and all that. Now, on digital content writing, which is people who create content online in terms of whether it's on blogs, email letters, whether it's even on graphics and all that, and even posts that they put up on their WhatsApp status. Some people wonder how they see attractive posts and all that. That's the work of a digital content writer. If you want to be a digital content writer, you need to know that the following roles make up digital content writing. You need to be marketing a brand, and when they push it out, the message from everybody may be different, but it is towards one goal. So a digital content writer must have the skill of coordination. Another area is web administration. A digital content writer manages websites for some company, even in media organizations. He helps them to be able to make sure that a particular write-up goes up at a particular point in time and all that. So as someone who wants to go online, you could choose different things you want to do. Entrepreneurs mainly take up this skill of digital content writing. Individuals too, young school leavers, university students, even those who work in offices, they take up that skill. We are talking about digital literacy. There are so many skills you can learn. You must be able to understand which of these skills either ties to what you're studying or what you're doing, or takes you into another sector entirely. So you must be able to pick it up. Just like I told you last week, I'm coming up with a content creation masterclass, which we'll be working on very soon. People will learn how to do graphics, they will learn how to do video editing, social media management, and all that. It will help many entrepreneurs, whether in the big or small markets or in the open street, or those working from home or remote areas. Help them know how to be able to make sure their posts gains traction and it gets this rollover of customers to them. Apart from that too, they could do it for other people.
And get
do
paid.
Good graphics, branding, and the rest of them. So we'll be able to put this together to teach, just like we are doing as part of the boot camp for the kids. This one is for the adults. I'll be announcing the dates very soon and how much it will be. But one thing I will encourage everybody, from all what you've heard here today, whether from Engineer Isibo or Michael or myself, it's about making sure you become digitally literate. It's very important. So if you have any question to ask me on any role, how you can be able to get into it, what is involved and all that, reach out to me if you want to. 080 6000 2862 080 6000 2862. When you call, we'll talk. I will know how best or how you can move into any of these skills, the opportunities in them and all that. We'll talk and we'll see how we take it up from there. 080 6000 2862.
Okay. Courtesy Today 95.1 FM Tech Community. We have Paul as one of the facilitators there. Michael is also one of the facilitators there. And Engineer Isibo, who's going to be sharing with us his contacts quickly.
For the tech.
For joining us today. I'm sorry we couldn't take calls. I saw the lines buzzing, but we couldn't take them because it's time to go. To enjoy the rest of your afternoon or your day as you listen to Today 95.1 FM. At the top of the hour, the news update will be up next, and after that, Maxwell Lucky will be joining for Talk That Talk. Stay tuned to Today 95.1 FM. Follow me on social media, David Melford Robert, on all platforms. Follow Today FM, Today FM 951 on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Today FM 951 Live, Port Harcourt. Stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Hello and good afternoon. This is the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Dave Robert. Members of the youth wing of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State have staged a protest to the state secretariat of the party in Port Harcourt, accusing the APC-led federal government of allegedly marginalizing members of the party in the state. The aggrieved APC youth, who carried placards with different inscriptions like the appointment of members of the opposition parties into ministries and parastatals rather than APC members, is against the party constitution. It's either APC or APC. We cannot continue to labor and others reap, amongst others. One of the leaders of the protest, precisely Na, who is the leader of the APC Ward 9 in Obiakwa local government area, said the protest is to register their grievances against the APC-led federal government, who have allegedly handed over the rights and privileges of the party to opposition party members. Na, in an interview with Today FM's Uchendu Ejowo, called on President Bola Tinubu to reverse the appointment given to persons from River State and give them back to APC members to reflect the constitution of the party. The presidential election petition constitution and court sitting in Abuja is expected to deliver its much anticipated verdict on Wednesday, September 6th. The Court of Appeal Registrar Umar Bagari confirmed this during an interview. He said the proceedings will be open to live broadcast by interested television stations. The tribunal had on August 1st reserved the judgment on the petitions filed by the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, and Labour Party's Peter Obi. The duo of Atiku and Obi are challenging the declaration of President Bola Tinubu as the winner of the February 25th election. In the meantime, the Department of State Services says it has uncovered plans by certain politicians across the country to stage violent protests, mobilizing student leaders and ethnic associations, amongst others. The service said the planned protest was to rubbish the federal government and security agencies over what it described as socio-economic matters. A statement by the service spokesperson, Peter Afunaya, said intelligence reports at their disposal reveal this. Afunaya said those plotting the protests had been identified and are being monitored. A former chairman of the Committee on Prosecution of Bandits-Related Offences, Sani Shinkafi, says the National Youth Service Corps should stop posting corps members to some states bedeviled by bandit attacks. Shinkafi's recommendation comes after 2 weeks after armed bandits abducted 8 NYC members along a highway in Zamfara State, later demanding for 4 million naira in ransom for at least one of the victims. Shinkafi, a former national chairman aspirant of the All Progressives Congress, made the call during a television interview. He also criticized Governor Dauda Lawal's refusal to dialogue with the repentant bandits, arguing that the stance taken by the administration of Lawal's predecessor, Bello Matawale, to dialogue with the terrorists was beneficial to the securing and the release of abductees in Zamfara State. And on the foreign scene, Britain's Charles III is marking his first year as king this week, with the reign so far characterized by a smooth transition of that by his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II. The anniversary on Friday is expected to be marked privately, given the date is also that of his mother's death at the age of 96. The 74-year-old Charles has slipped into his new role with apparent ease after some 70 years waiting as the heir of the longest in any British history. But despite expectation of reform, he has not yet made sweeping changes to the monarchy, fueling perceptions that he is a caretaker role before his eldest son and heir, Prince William, takes over. That was the news update at 2 on Today 95.1 FM. Good afternoon. I am Dave Robert. Stay tuned. Talk That Talk on the Hustle segment with Lucky Maxwell comes up next.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Okay, it's live on Today 95.1 FM. Where else can be better? Tuning on to Today 95.1 FM, and we will make your day.
You're also saying yeah, the worry. This government.
Take for that station, John.
Yeah, don't you worry, you.
We're passionate about it.
We love talking.
We are
Your number one talk radio station, 95.1 FM.
People can no longer take certain things. Nothing is guaranteed. When we were younger, you hardly hear killing. Today is the norm now.
No place is safe.
We get president at all. We dey separate Nigeria, beg.
kidnapping, assassination. People are dying every day. People are getting killed every day. My friend just got kidnapped.
Tell the Nigerian leaders, or if you like rulers, that they are performing below expectation.
Hope is one of the main guiding force in the human existence. Without hope, we all cease to live. Life ends when you stop believing. The sky may be full of dark clouds, but the little ray of hope for this great nation should not quiver. Let's fan the flames of hope. Nigeria must stand. This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Talk That Talk, the Monday edition, Money Making Monday tease. Thank you very much for always staying tuned to this dial. Your premium talk radio today, 95.1 FM. My name is Lucky Maxwell. Good to have you on the show once again. It's going to be a great week, and we're going to be having a wonderful conversation today. Now, before we go ahead, I just want to address a certain issue, and it has to do with a particular area where I have a lot of people residing, and that's the attitude of PHED. Around the Choba Extension First Mechanic area, they've not had electricity for about 3 days now. It was learned that a wire went off, and then they came, disconnected it, removed the fuse, and since then they're having efforts by the PHED to fix that particular issue so they can have electricity. And I also learned that this area, they at least pay their bills promptly. It is this happening that PHED will continue with this attitude, and we sometimes we point our hands down to Abuja that, oh, president is not doing well, governor is not doing well, this person is not doing well. But I usually ask, within our own small frame, what is it that we're doing? PHED is supposed to be a private business, right? Like the telecommunications company. You give me electricity, I pay. If I don't pay, you cut me off. If I'm unprepaid, I buy, the card, my unit, just like the same way I buy in my phone, my mobile telecommunication. If I don't buy, I won't have money to make my calls. So please, PhD, if you're listening, you need to restore electricity as soon as possible. Around the Choba Extension First Mechanic area, they've not had electricity. The Alakaya area, because they're using a different transformer, they've had electricity. But this other part, they've not had electricity. So do well to go and address that issue. We have friends and families who probably reside around that environment, and it's been tough, when they don't have electricity. And yet, by next week now, you'll come for bills, isn't it? When people react now, you will say, oh, why are people reacting? Do the right thing so we can have a better society. It's as simple as that. You give electricity, they pay their bills. If the person is not paying, you cut the person off. It's as simple as that. But when you are not giving electricity or something is faulty and you find it difficult to go and fix it, people will contribute money, buy transformer, contribute money, buy cables, buy whatever. You claim it as your own property. It is only in this country that kind of insane arrangement happens. You claim it as your property. When something is faulty, you will not fix it. In some cases, people will even contribute money to fix it, but your own duty is to be collecting bill. It's not right now. You can't be working in Shell and be collecting salary at LNG. Life doesn't go that way. So ensure you go around there, fix Choba Extension to be precise. I know some of the people listening, you work with PhD. Fix that electricity so people can go back. If you don't want us to make you a news item on this station, you go and fix that electricity so people can have electricity. You can't be collecting bills and people will be living in darkness. That's not fair. It's not nice. You can't be so wicked to your customers. All right, having said that, we have gentlemen living, seated here in the studio. They are going to live in Matthias. They are rightly seated here. We're going to be having a conversation today, very important one. We'll look at the cleanup. As a group, of course, they are coming out for the first time also. And then they'll be talking about what they stand to achieve, when probably they were formed, why they are here. They'll also look at one of the achievements of the Ogoni people, and that has to do with the Ogoni cleanup by the High Prep, the development so far, and what they think High Prep should do or is not doing properly in conjunction with the federal government and federal authorities. And then, by extension, we'll also branch and look at the East-West Road. I said, on my own, I'm going to be singing that song, and that's the field portion of the East-West Road. It's very important because people are going through hell on that road. Each time they ply that road, people go through hell, and it's not nice in an environment where billions and billions are churned out monthly, quarterly, and yearly, and you have something as simple as a road. It seems as though there's some form of politics beclouding that particular portion of the road. I stated something a few weeks back. If a senior friend of ours who probably come on air, who is a doctor, who has a hospital here in Port Harcourt, had his vehicle, damaged as a result of the bad portion of that particular road. He has not been to Port Harcourt for about 3 weeks now because of that particular incident. So you can imagine, what, and he was even telling me he was going to close down his business here in Port Harcourt. You know what that means? It's going to push people further into joblessness. So the earlier they fix that road, the better. Enough of all these government officials coming to pay on scheduled visits, whether it's scheduled visits or unscheduled visits, and then give press statements. The last time some senators came into town, met with the governor, they spoke. Since that time till now, we're expecting that the contractor would have been mobilized to site. All right. Barinoazo Emmanuel was here a few days back, and he talked about the fact that, there's some form of political arrangement on that road where some people are giving some money to come and do rehabilitation from time to time. Why not fix the road once and for all? You can't continue to probably fill some people's purse because you want to play politics. So we have joining us on the conversation today, the living Ogoni Matthias. All right, so we have Elder Nuka Kobo. He's a spokesman. Good to have you, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my brother Mike.
And then we have Comrade Marcus Weber. He's the coordinator. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my brother.
And Pastor Terence Barali, he's the secretary.
Good
Thank
afternoon.
you for joining us.
Good afternoon.
We should also be having Mr. Nkiri Celestin, the legal advisor of this group. All right, I'll start with you, Elder Nuka. What does the Ogoni Living Matthias stand for?
Well, good afternoon, Rivers people, and good afternoon, very specific greetings to my Ogoni brothers. The Living Matthias, as the name implies, means that those who were ardent supporters of the late Ken Saro-Wiwa to ensure that the Ogoni cause comes to fruition. Fortunately, this group, as they are called by their name, they comprise of people who were in detention, were incarcerated during the heydays of the coercion, military coercion on the Ogoni people. The two gentlemen you see here in the studio, myself and some others, they were right in detention with Ken Saro-Wiwa. But by divine providence, God made them to come out, and they are still living here today. We want to thank God that in spite of the brutality and all that physical torture that is even telling on them by now, that because I know that some of them have not been able to do certain things, engage themselves in meaningful activities that will also put food on their table. But we have to thank God first and foremost that they are alive.
So, what's the purpose of coming together to form a group?
The purpose of coming together is that, one, the Ogoni people, irrespective of the fact that Ken Saro-Wiwa and all the rest of them are gone today, Ogoni cause lives on. Mossop lives on. The Ogoni Bill of Rights lives on. And every other thing, not to talk of it, the aftermath of our struggle today, High Prep, has given the Ogoni people some level of hope to start with.
Okay, that has to do with the cleanup of Ogoni land due to the oil spill.
The remediation and the restoration of the Ogoni land. Despoliation of the land, the land was despoiled, the land was devastated, but we thank God that our hue and cry, sometimes ago, government waded into it, and then through the recommendations of UNEP report, we were able to get a High Prep established. And right away, I think there have been one or two things they are doing that has attracted us to speak about today, even as we are here in the studio. Thank you.
So let's look at the assessment so far. What you think? A lot of people have been talking about the High Prep performance. Would you say they're doing well? Look at even the change of leadership from time to time. Professor Zabi is presently the healthman. After Giadom was, left office. Would you say they are doing well?
Well, in that case, my brother, the fact is that, after the tenure of our brother, the first PC, comes in Professor Philip Shokolo. During the time of Shokolo, things were started moving. After Shokolo comes in Zabi, where we have the light project,
No, it was after, I think after
it was Giadon that brought in the light project and other things.
Then Professor Zabi came in.
So Zabi is just coming in now. But what we're talking about here is that, you know, the interchanging of pieces.
Yes.
Not align them to, at least you're in class 1. You get to 3. They have to tell you to go back 1. You are repeating. So we are now like appealing to the federal government. Interchanging of pieces during the project back. Allow them. If it's 3 years, if it's 1 year, they have to serve. If it's 4 years, let the person finish. Let's see his drawing board. What is on his drawing board. So we can know what to, the result or the scores to give to him.
So for you, think, you know, the changing of the herdsman, you think it has also stunted the development as far as HYPREP is concerned?
It's affecting the project quite well. Zabi is just coming in few months now. We see what he's trying to do. He's pushing things around. I think I was aware a few days back of a week ago, they paid some persons for this livelihood, but in livelihood we want them to do more, because that's where the youths, we know there's something happening.
If we look at some of the recommendations, which is firstly, like Emmanuel would say, cleaning the people first, before you clean the environment, because the people are the direct
effect.
They have the direct effect of the pollution so far. Is the federal government, in conjunction with HYPREP, doing the needful in terms of training the youth, ensuring that there's water? You talk about the electricity, the power, and then power project that is supposed to be started in Ogoni. Are they doing enough? Can you pinpoint things that you can feel, things that you can see, and say, okay, to this extent, we are hoping that if they continue like this, the project, what is on paper, will evenly be implemented.
That
at the
is
end
why
of the
we
day.
want them to improve in livelihood. That is the reason why we are here.
On livelihood.
Let me just go back to our local language, so that the people in the village will understand us.
But you have to interpret.
No, I will not go back to my own language. I want to go in broken.
Okay, go ahead.
You see, the government really, what did they cost our people like that? Today, 1 month, they go change the PC. Tomorrow, 2 months, they go change the PC. And this thing, the living materials, they go against them. That be the reason why we're there. We say, no, we don't want these things to happen again. If this man don't come to stay, may they allow this man to finish in work, so that if you give account of
his stewardship,
you get the jobs. But today, if you change, tomorrow you bring another person, we don't get anybody to hold hand. Like some time ago, I meet one of the former PC. I say, Oga, this thing one I don't chop this money finish. He said no. Say federal government don't give a chance to finish in work. So we say no, the living materials to do is we stand up to say no to all these changes. The new PC, I don't know him before. It's not my friend. It's not my friend. But when I send people to him to investigate about this man, my brother, I get to be friends with this man. I don't know him before. And the federal, the light of something that the light that we are talking about now, my brother, we are still asking federal government, make them try. That promise to them promise us, make them try. We don't say they try, but make them still put effort. At least make people see the light. That's it.
So, okay, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, I just want to add to what my brother just said now. Well, to Zabi, I think it is like putting a round peg in a round hole now. Zabi has been part of this struggle right from time immemorial. And in fact, I can attest to the fact that we're in school together at the moment, at the heat of most of, issues and challenges and problems and so on. So I think they are bringing in somebody that basically understands what to do and have a passion for the job he has been given to do at this moment. This is the reason we are coming here. Please, we want to beg of the federal government. Please, we have a job on our hands to do.
the livelihood projects and all the restoration projects and all that. Just some few months ago, when he came into the office, he was able to sign out letters of these contracts, release the contract letters and all that to the various contractors who have been mobilized even to site as we speak to you.
Some people are against the contractors that have been mobilized, saying that probably they do not have the wherewithal to carry out, the project that they've been given. I think you share in that sentiment.
No, that is the reason why the living Matthias decide to involve themselves. Because we want to watch them. We want to watch all the contractors. Because we don't want this PC to have a very bad record. That's the reason why we involve ourselves. Like a task force.
Okay.
We are just like a task force. You get? So that's why we said they should stop changing this PC 1 month, 2 months. That is because of all these things. Because you don't go free power contractors to go to site and nobody they monitor them. And you go get to find and say anything this man doing go do how many high like because they are all strangers. They are not from that area. The contractors, they are not from that Ogoni land. So we do them and we go just do anything we like. After all, we know from there. So we want all these things to stop. That's why we the living Matthias decide on our own to say no, we are not going to fold our hands anymore. Watching these people doing wrong work. But this new PC, my brother, no, grassroots.
Do you think that the politicians, government officials will allow Professor Zabi to do his work as a professional? One thing is for you to be a professional, to do a certain job.
Yeah.
Monies will be released. There are interests, political interests.
Yeah.
Do you think they will allow them or allow him to function maximally?
If the politicians not allow work, we will go on radio.
I'm talking about politicians also that are from the Ogoni extraction.
We must call their name on radio. Anyone who will involve, we don't allow this man work. Any man we don't allow this man work, we'll bring his name on radio on this studio.
Well, to be very precise and very specific on this issue, we are making a passionate appeal because the Ogoni struggle is not based on violence. We abhor violence in totality. And that's the reason we are here as men with conscience, to appeal to everybody to come on the same page. We want everybody to be at the same page so that in the end, we'll be able to realize what the Ogoni project is all about, what we have set out to achieve. Like now, the specialist project, hospital project is ongoing. We also have the Center of Excellence.
Where to be precise?
Thai.
Okay, in Thai.
Yeah. Then the other special project also, the Center of Excellence is located within Wiakara Axis.
Now, when you say ongoing, the specialist hospital, for instance,
yes, sir,
they've started building it.
They've laid the foundation.
Okay.
As we speak to you. Now you go to Center of Excellence. Work is ongoing there as we speak. We can also employ you to pay a visit to that site.
Okay.
To pay a visit to that site.
I'd love to take a tour. We'll probably
we'll see this for yourself. We will welcome you. We will welcome you. And then what we are saying in a nutshell is this: we can see for the first time a man that is committed to his job, a man that is set to set a record separate from what others have been doing. The livelihood project, in fact, let me speak to you now, that Professor Nenimbare Zabi has been able to reach out to the most vulnerable people who nobody can speak for them as we speak to you, which is a pass mark and something separate and different from what the previous administrations of IPREP have been doing. So we have seen this, and we have seen that he wants to establish and make a mark in this process. So the living Matthias want to say, without any form of equivocation, that Zabi have come to stay to ensure that the Ogoni project is carried out to a logical conclusion. We are also, through this means, reaching out to the federal government of Nigeria. Very soon, the gentleman you are seeing here, we are going to march to Abuja to meet with the new minister. Yes. And then establish or register.
Environment.
Yes.
Okay.
And register our display device for this struggle. And this is the only thing coming out as something visible and feasible that we can see at the moment. So it behoves on everybody as an Ogoni, whether we are politician, non-politician, artisans, businessmen, communities, rulers, traditional rulers, and all the rest of them, we are calling on such people to ensure that this project will come to a logical conclusion.
Let's put our hands
Peace
together.
must exist in our various communities on the various sites where the contractors are going to work. And we have offered ourselves now as a group, the Living Matthias, because this is what we pay the price for.
You have to reach out to the youth also to allow the contractors to work.
We reach
That's
out
another
to the
issue.
youth. Yes, we reach out to the youth. All sections, a cross section of Ogoni youths and all the rest of them politicians, come what may. We are going to reach out to them. We are going to have meetings with them and all that to see and sensitize them. Give them a brief this thing concerning what Zabe is doing, because maybe sometimes you know how politicians do. Probably your boy and all that will come and tell you certain things, and then before you know it, you are carrying it out. No, we don't want that. We want a very, this is a very sensitive project we are doing, and everybody, all hands must be on deck to ensure that we, conclude this project.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. Celestine. Good to have you. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Now, away from that, we said we're going to also touch the East-West Road. Haven't looked at the cleanup project by High Prep. Your other brothers here have talked immensely on how they want that project to move, and they're in support of Professor Zabi, and also calling on the federal government, pleading with the federal government to allow the man who is a professional to do his job. But let's also look at the East-West Road. That's another hindrance also. If that project must be actualized, if you don't have access, there'll be issues. A few weeks back, there was an ultimatum by some group. Emmanuel was here, and they talked about it, but some senators came in and then they spoke about how they will meet with the NNPC to raise cash and mobilize contractor to site. I don't know. I've not been there for about a week or two if contractors have been mobilized to site.
Okay, quite well. I ply that road almost on daily basis. Even when I'm going to court, sometimes I go to court almost late. And it's a major factor. It's also another area we are looking at. In fact, as I was on my way to this studio, I had to understand that the governor is going towards Ogoni axis today. It's not even up to 1 hour. He was stuck in that traffic, serious traffic on that road. And there are a lot of things happening on that road because that road is not fixed. So in brevity, it is politicized. And we, the Ogonis, we are not happy about how that road is being treated. We need an urgent attention to fix that road as soon as possible.
What have you done?
We have so far disseminated information, strategized on how that road can be fixed. But it's as if it's landing on the deaf ear.
Are you going to stop at that? What is it that you can do further? We're looking at now the NDDC, a new board has been formed as we speak. We also have the state government. These are all major stakeholders, even though it's a federal road. But we can't leave it entirely in the hands of the federal government because as we speak, you have companies, domiciled within that area, churning out billions of naira monthly, quarterly, and yearly to the federal government. You also have innocent people, innocent citizens. If you're going to Akwa Ibom, Ikorabasi, you must fly that road. If you're going to Okrika, you must go through that road. If you're coming from that end, going to, Bayelsa, you take through this East-West Road, you must use that road. If you're also going to Aba, maybe from that axis, you must also use that road. Since you said there's a bit of politics, what is it that you have done to make so much noise to reach out to all the stakeholders, including the Senate Committee, the federal government, the NDDC, the state government, and every other stakeholder, including the companies that are resident within that area, to ensure that something is done? What we can do is to talk on radio, but what is it that you have done as a group also?
Okay. We have taken an informative, transformative means by, let me start from this area. Comrade Emmanuel by Noazo has been on air several times to beckon on the multinationals operating within that jurisdiction. We have done that on air through the NICOP, National Youth Council of Ogoni People, as he is the head. So we have also strategized by also writing, attending some seminars, some fora that has to do with stakeholders in that meeting. So that is why I submitted that. It's as if it's landing on deaf ears.
That's what I'm saying. That what more can you now do? Do you have any other plan?
Another proactive step we want to take now, because we have right to protest.
There was a protest before. Nothing came out. That was when Gospel Akpabio was.
We were not part of that. We were not part of
that. That is the reason why we live in Matthias.
Yes, we were not part of that protest.
We live in Matthias.
But now we have decided to protest against what is happening on that road.
Do you have any date scheduled for that?
We will let you know when
the time comes.
Very soon, we'll let you know.
Because this is September, and we're edging towards December. A new government is in place now. In fact, I thank God there's a new NDDC board. Would you also see how you can reach out to them one-on-one?
Yes.
Do you have some plans?
Plans are on ground.
We'll write to the NDC board. The board, the current MD now, at least it's my friend. It's my friend. And it's a
the current Senate president now came into the matter to settle it, but to no avail. What has come out since then? Nothing, practically nothing, and people are dying on this road on daily basis. So we are calling on the federal government, we are calling on IOCs, we are calling on every corporate entity operating around that area to support this cause for that road to be fixed, sir.
Now, a lot of businesses are down, as a matter of fact, as we speak to you. Several businesses along that axis have folded up. They are no longer in business for now, which means that employment that have been given to Rivers people has been dashed. In fact, some companies, as I speak with you, are making plans to get out of One as we speak to you. It will have a multiplier effect on our economy as Rivers people. And so we must take this very seriously. That road, maybe the youths played over it, they joked over it. But this time around, we are putting it to you that the living Matthias are on top of the game now. We want to compel government in its entirety to give attention to that road. And we are promising you that after the studio, we are going to do something that you will hear and will compel government to do something on that road now.
All right, feel free to join the conversation. We have the Ogoni Living Matthias on the program. Elder Nuka Kobo is the spokesman. We have Comrade Marcus Weber, he's the coordinator. Pastor Serens Barley is the secretary, and Mr. Nkiri Celestine is the legal advisor. Feel free to join us on the conversation. We took a look at two major issues, which is the Ogoni cleanup and, of course, the East-West Road, within that axis. The East-West Road, of course, is not just a Rivers thing, it's a Niger Delta thing. It is also a South-South and a Southeast arrangement, because you have Abia State that is just close, linking Imo State. So if that road is fixed, of course, everyone will definitely benefit. 0817 0000951, 0810 9510 951. And then you can also send your messages to 0701 933 9962. Hello, good to have you.
Good afternoon.
Welcome, Wellington. Go ahead, sir.
That road, let me congratulate Living Matthias that are on the studio. My Ogoni brothers, as Dr. Wellington is from Africa. I don't know how you people want to do it. I want to send this message to the Senate President himself. I don't know how to. Let me beg him. Honorable sir, Honorable President Akpabio, this is your road. If that is the only thing you can achieve for the people of Niger Delta, please do that road. Our sisters, our mothers from Okrika are dying. Their goods are perishing on that road on daily basis. Their own sisters from Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Abia State, linking to Akwa Ibom State. Their goods are perishing on that road. Those from Delta, those from Bayelsa, their goods are perishing on that road. So you are once a chairman, minister for Niger Delta. The Niger Delta people are begging on you, crying, please, the committee on NDDC or whatever Senate committee to do that road for us. For how long will we be crying for that road? One road. The people of Niger Delta are crying for one road. The people of the community, about 4 local governments on that road from River State are crying on that road. Or 5 states are crying on that road. We are from Nigeria. I don't know whether I'm from another country. For this Niger Delta, are we part of this country? I will be crying for one road for over, should I say 16 years? It's bad. Are they playing with the road? That road is a major road. In fact, that road is a lifeline of Niger Delta. Without that road, there is no existence of Niger Delta. The NDDC state cannot exist without that road. It's a matter of urgency. So please, we are begging on him. He's the Senate president representing the people of Niger Delta. In the Senate as the Senate president. At least, if not anyone thing, we should do that road. Talk to the president. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, please fix this road for my people. I'll be happy. Thank you and God bless us. I'm Carolyn from Oskrika.
Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you. All right, feel free to join the conversation. Call in and send in your messages to 0701-933-9962. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good to have you. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, thank you. You guys are calling for the road, right? It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. When in the other third world countries that are struggling like Nigeria, they have gone far. The developed world, they are talking of how to go to the moon, the sun, and today, in a nation where God has so blessed with everything endowed, they are still begging for roads. That's not a shame. That's not a shame. What can we do? We can only call, shout, cry. We go to vote, we can't get the right thing done. It's crazy. You know what? Tell the government, tell them. We are expecting the good government in Nigeria. Africa is soon going to be militarized. If they are not careful, the politicians.
Okay, thank you very much. Before you take this conversation, I'm coming, sir. Hello, good afternoon, good to have you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us on the show. Yes, you wanted to say something?
Yes. Let me say this. I'm a regular user of that road. It is so disheartening. It's so pathetic. Just some few weeks ago, they carried a dead body. An unknown person. The person have stayed inside that river for almost a week. And crowd throng out to gather and watch. What led to the death of that person? If you can see the bridge, the only bridge, the so-called bridge.
That bridge is about to collapse.
The bridge is about to collapse. And we have a government, and these things means nothing to them as we speak. My brother, it is so worrisome. It is very disheartening.
One of those days when I was coming from, I was coming all the way from that end.
Yes.
And getting to that bridge, a vehicle had already plunged into the river. People were also gathered. They were trying to rescue people.
Okada somersault.
Yes, I saw that one live.
Okada somersault every time into that river. I want to say this, my brother. It is quite disheartening. This is the height of insensitivity to the people of this country and the people of this river state. I must say this, it's just so pathetic. I'm a regular user of that road, and I can tell you what happened.
Let's take this. Hello, good to have you.
Yes, good afternoon.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, I have to just start was driving and.
Sorry, sir. Can you speak up, sir, and your name?
Yes, I'm Comrade Operator Promise.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, the issue of that road is something that I can't understand what's happening. That road is, aside the trauma we are going through, is breeding criminality and every other thing. There is this RG immediately before the Minas Chapel, close to Total Filling Station, hoodlums who operate in the name of River State Internal Generated Revenue anchored there And even when you're just passing, they jump into your car. If you're using truck, they jump into on top of the truck. I think 2 weeks ago, one of them died there. And we don't know. That's what is impossible. For how long do we live in this kind of situation? When we have a government that is supposed to be responsive and they are not responsive. My brother, is pathetic. It's pathetic. I can't imagine. And that was expressed. Please, the government should do something about that road.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon. Feel free to send in messages to 0701 9339 962. Well, we can't stop talking until something positive is done. Yes, in Nigeria, you have to keep on shouting, you have to keep on talking, you have to keep on pleading, maybe, if possible, protests, and the living martyrs are here, and they are saying they will take it as a responsibility to voice it and drum it to the ears of all stakeholders. I've named the MDDC. I've talked about the federal government. That's another stakeholder. I've also talked about the state government, then the multinationals, even though they are paying tax to government. But an arrangement can be made. That's if government is sincere and really ready to fix that road. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, Mr. Zion.
Good to have you. Go ahead, Mr. Zion.
When you ask the organization what is their core mandate, their values, I expected to hear something different, but I didn't. What I only heard them say is to praise Professor Menezidem. Finish. And it's unfortunate how we act like this in this part of the world, especially in the Niger Delta region from my Bayelsa River State. Group of youths who just come together, form organizations to be recognized by politicians. That is it, nothing. I expected them to stand in the spirit of the Ken Saruwiwa and the 9 martyrs. If it is not Ogoni, it is nothing. If it is not for the interest of the Ogoni sons and daughters, it is nothing. But what I perceive them saying is to come and be like one of those groups. One of those groups. We know them now in the Ogoni region. And me, the money, everything. Are they not struggling to get their shares? We just made mention of the East-West Road. I take that would have been the litmus test for me to believe this organization. I wanted to have heard, we have written letters to these people. We have done this, we have done that, and we are here to come and found a woman. We have given them ultimatum in so dead. This is what I expected to hear. Not these ones. No, now. Let's tell ourselves the truth now.
All right, thank you, Mr. Zion.
All
right, thank you, Mr. Zion.
Which people they favor now?
All right, thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Zion. Yes, they will respond. Pastor?
Okay, I want to thank my brother, Mr. Zion. Now, some times ago, concerning the East-West Road, our brothers, they were on that road with heavy blockage and all that. What did we achieve? Nothing. We only succeeded at that time in inconveniencing the users of that road. That is exactly what we saw. But now it's going to take a different dimension. We want to assure Zion that the approach this time around will be different, because we have seen that the first one does not give us any result. And so we want a fast and speedy result-oriented action. So we are taking the protest to the doorsteps of those who are in Abuja there to see us, that we are serious about what we are saying, and not to do a protest here to convenience or inconvenience us further. For people that are suffering already, you heap the sufferings on them. Again, no, that is not what we want. This group is specifically desired to take that protest down to Abuja, to where people will see us, and then where we have pictures of what people are passing to in River State here.
Okay. You wanted to add something?
What I just want to add is that we are not politicians. We are civil. We are civil in our approach. So Mr. Zion should look forward for a positive development from this group.
But he made mention of something. He said when I asked, talking about your purpose, he wanted to hear the clear definition, but you were probably praising Professor Nina Barizabi
Maybe he never joined us from the beginning.
Okay.
We were able to specifically stated clearly what the objectives of these groups are when we started.
Yes.
Probably he joined us halfway.
Yes.
So I cannot really say about that. But our objective is very, very clear. Our objective
which is to ensure that the Ogoni project
is fully realized.
Okay. And then your support for Professor Zabe is not partisan.
No, it's not partisan. Not partisan.
We have seen that.
What we've seen for now is what we are talking about. It's non-partisan. If you are from Party A and you are doing well, this group will support you. If you are from Party B and you are doing well, this group will still support you.
What we are talking about is
we all have interest in parties.
Neutral group.
That's quite obvious.
Oh, that's
you must have interest. If two people are fighting, you must have interest in one person. So if you say you don't have interest in a party, it means you're lying. But if you are doing well in Party C and I'm in Party B, we'll still say this person is doing well.
So it's all about realization of the said goal.
Yes. You see, the intermittent distortions in this project is what.
Okay, you've stated that over and over. You are against the fact that a particular management will be set up in a few months' time, the person will be pushed away, another one will come in. So you don't have anyone to hold responsible.
To hold responsible. That's what we are against.
So for the East-West Road, you're saying you want to take the protest to the doors of those who are stakeholders.
Yes.
We're looking at the stakeholders now. We're looking at the NDDC.
Yeah.
We're looking at the state government.
Yes.
We're looking at the federal government. We're looking at the Senate committee. For the multinationals, they pay tax. So it is on their own part. If there's anything they want to do, it has to be an arrangement or some form of commitment to say, oh, let's just add this in order to ensure that you fix the road. But it is not really in their place to fix that road because they are paying tax to government. So how do you want to take the fight to these stakeholders, the NDDC, federal, state government?
We are taking it to the federal. That road is the federal road. If NDDC or the state is to come in,
but at this point, don't you think they have to come in?
They will come in. They will come in. But I think the major, the arrow points at the federal government as this point where we are. Do you understand? If the state were to do the road, I think yes, Winke in all honesty will do that road. But what kept the road up till now? You can see the man embarked on wide range of project within the state, and which was road majorly. He constructed roads. There's no doubt about that. But did they give him the opportunity? Because that road was a federal road.
Don't you think he would have done it, and then maybe refunds would have been made, just like every other project?
But why didn't they do it? That's the question. So there must be something hindering it, and we want to get to the nitty-gritty of that. You understand? That's why we are here. So we are taking that to the federal government.
Okay, so instead of protesting and
inconveniencing within here to inconvenience those the users
last 2 weeks,
and those
there is a Senate committee on this road.
Yes,
no, there is a Senate committee. They came into town. Until now, we have not heard anything from them. Nothing.
And from information we gather some time ago, we get information that they don't give ROCC money. They don't empower ROCC to start the road work.
There'll be conflicting information.
ROCC just there like that, they get their log.
The last time it was like that also. That they started
conflicting information.
And the ROCC are crying. These people are crying. They are crying.
So the contentious politics on this road, we'll get to the root of it.
0817-0000951. Hello, good to have you. Welcome. Hello. Good afternoon. Good to have you. Good afternoon. Oh, so sorry. We can't get anything from that end. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Good Luck calling from Port Harcourt.
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
I want to greet the gentlemen in the studio.
You're welcome.
And this is my humble contribution to our discussion this afternoon. I want to support in calling the federal government that they should allow the present coordinator to serve the people of Ogoni.
We have been clamoring and crying every day for the wrongdoings of concerning the high prep. Maxwell, if you come to Ogoniland, you will cry. Nothing has been done. Nothing has been done. They are just there having their own share of the Ogoni cake and walk away with it. Please, I want to urge them to be proactive in calling on the federal government to allow the substantial board to operate. That is my humble contribution.
Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you. And that's what you can take on the program today. Many thanks to everyone that called in. Elder Nuka Kobo, spokesman, Ogoni Living Matthias, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Comrade Marcos Webari, coordinator, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Pastor Terence Barley, he's the secretary. Thank you, sir, for coming.
Many thanks.
And Ms. Ankiri Celestine, his legal advisor. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Wish you the best. Hopefully, we should get information as to what you have done concerning both high prep and, most importantly, the East-West Road. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The Sports Gang will be coming up next. Stay with us.
Some people will carry human head in their boots and they will not charge them because they are collecting bribe.
When they go collect salary, then go say government need to pay them bribe. All these taxi drivers safe. They don't even get papers. Even driver's license safe, they don't get.
Hey, you back there. Hold on there.
Their cars are in bad shape, very, very bad shape. They have no ethics of driving. That is why they will continue to bribe so that they can have their way.
I will shoot you down. I will shoot you. Headlight, you no get. Side mirror, you no get. Motorway to where they carry animal. Now you take put for road to carry human being. You never even wind the motor when rain they fall. You no get conscience at all. Take, you be number 15. You be number 5. One and no forget one number.
Let's allow them do their job. Do not obstruct justice by giving or taking bribe. Avail yourself a check. Even you, Oga driver, stop reckless driving and always update your papers. This information
is brought to you by Today95.1 FM.
Voice of the people.
Officer, give me change. Now 1,000 I give you.
Peace is a situation where there is no war or violence in a society. Peace allows wealth to accumulate and the society to advance.
Through peace, generations of wealth, education, technology can build up, thereby making people very prosperous and happy.
Without peace, there will be violence, war, and underdevelopment in our society. The most disadvantageous peace is far better than the most just war. Let us embrace peace for a better society.
This message is brought to you by your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM.
It's what I pray for. All around the world. It's what I pray for. For my
J'ai composé ce morceau récemment. C'est là que mon petit gars qui m'a inspiré.
Football is a leisure game.
Sports is actually my job.
Football is boring.
That's not true. It's way more important than that.
what a wonderful goal! Fantastic strike!
As far as I'm concerned, sports is all about passion.
Sports attack.
Showdown. The fastest men in the world.
Hearts racing.
1 light, 2 lights. They're backing off and backing.
Pulse rising.
Who will come out on top? Who'll take 3 lights, 4 lights. He's ready to be the star.
The anticipation.
Powerful, strong. Beckham. Time, Tyson Gay right all the way. He's looking right.
The heart stops. Catch the sports gang on Sports Attack.
In sports stories, always listen to Today Sports Life on Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
My name is Gianni Infantino, FIFA president. For the best of sports, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Will there ever be a weekend of football matches in the English Premier League without drama, without controversy? As a question that many persons are asking us after we saw the controversial calls by the referees in the just concluded match day in the English Premier League. A very good afternoon to you and many thanks for joining us. It's the first edition of Today's Sports Live for this particular week. And my name remains Reliance Udonyan. I'll be here till the 4 o'clock hour, taking you through the topical matters that went down over the weekend in the world of sports. So the US Open is equally ongoing. Iga Swiatek looking likely to defend our championship, but that run came to an end. But for Corey Kokogov and others, they're still sailing through as we look at updates on the ongoing US Open, including Formula One, where it was a record-setting, record-breaking. Looks like everything that Max Verstappen does these days is a record in Formula One. So all of that to come on the show this afternoon as we welcome the guys on the other side of the divide, talking about the analysis side of things. I'm going to start with Young Chukuzite. Great to have you join us. Good afternoon to you.
Lions, good afternoon. Good afternoon to the guys and ladies in the studio. Good afternoon, Port Harcourt City. Lions, talk about Formula One. I think we should wrap it up. I can rest because I don't think what you are doing there is just formalities. Okay. Then US Open, it's saddening my heart that Iga Swiatek is out and Share My Love is still there, Coco Golf, all the way.
Imagine. Yours they play. Where you the drag Coco Golf? Where you the drag Coco Golf? Yours he mind. All right, so Chukuduma makes the show. So good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you, Reliance. You know, I saw a particular picture on social media yesterday where they tied Chelsea, a man with a Chelsea jersey and a man with a Manchester United jersey together. I think that's what we should be doing now, because these two teams, I don't understand. You know, when Chelsea lost on Saturday, right? I was like, Manchester United might lose again tomorrow because these teams are working hand in hand and they did lose. So these two teams, I don't really know what is their problem, but enough for them.
And they have two centre forwards in Rasmus Højlund and Nicholas Jackson. Sport Radio Goddess is here. Queen Chiki is here. Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Reliance, and good afternoon to the guys in the studio. Good afternoon to you out there in Port Harcourt, in South, in any part of the world you're listening to us from.
Do like Usas.
Well, it's the first Monday of September. It's the last quarter of the year. And I know that you're wondering, I wanted to achieve this, this is not done, that is not done. Keeping faith. It's not over until it is over. There is still time. Yeah. Miracle, need a tired Jesus. Let's talk sports. A whole lot happening. Weekend was beautiful. Arsenal, I think they've built that team, that team, even though they are not yet there, but they are becoming a threat. And when you want to play Arsenal,
you have
to be very careful. And then forget Havertz, I beg. And then you just have to employ like 100 tactics, because I'm sure that Mikel Arteta could even go as far as 50 tactics in one match. And if you want to beat him, you have to double his tactics. Welcome to the show.
All right, so that's it. Well, someone said that Arsenal cooked the rice, Jesus blessed it, and Manchester was disunited. All right, so we'll look at all of that. Now, it's not going down well in the camp of Manchester United between the coach and a player, Jadon Sancho. So I don't know if you've seen the statement, but we'll let you in on all of that and what Jadon Sancho said, what what Erik ten Hag said, and the response by Jadon Sancho. If you did observe, he wasn't on seat, he wasn't even on the bench, not registered for the match they lost to Arsenal. So there are issues, and people are saying, looks like Erik ten Hag finds a way to blame others instead of accepting the blame for some of the things that are not going well with Manchester United at the moment. So we're going to start the show from tennis. Let's let you in on what's ongoing before we head to the football side of life. We start with the defending champion, Iga Swiatek. Well, she's out. And guess who defeated her?
Coco Gauff. No.
Nope.
Sofia Kenin.
Nope.
Pekula.
Elena Ostapenko.
3-6,
6-3, 6-1 to the Latvian 20th seed. So Iga Swiatek is out. All right, and of course, Coco Gauff underlined her credentials as one of the US Open title favorites with a gutsy victory over Caroline Wozniacki to reach the quarterfinals. She won in a scoreline of 6-3, 3-6, 6-1. Remember, she's bidding for a first Grand Slam title, yet to win a Grand Slam. Elsewhere on Sunday, 10th seed Karolina Muchova set a quarterfinal encounter with Sorana Sister of Romania after defeating China's Wang Ziyu 6-3, 5-7, 6-1. For world number 30, Sister, who beat Switzerland's Belinda Bencic 6-3, 6-3, it will be a first appearance in the last 8 of the Grand Slam since the 2009 French Open. Now, 5th seed Ons Jabeur, do we have flag, like the African flag? Is there anything like that?
Kind of.
She's flying the flag of Africa. All right. So for Ons Jabeur, she produced another gutsy display to reach the US Open last 16 with a 3-set win over Marie Buskova that took almost 3 hours. Jabeur, last year's runner-up, won 5-7, 7-6, 6-3 on a Thrush Stadium against Czech's 34th seed Bukova, who was hampered by a thigh injury. In the men's single, Novak Djokovic enjoyed a smooth passage into the US Open quarterfinals as he won in straight sets to end Croatian qualifier Bona Gojo's remarkable run. Second seed Djokovic continued his bid for a record-equaling 24th major title with a 6-2, 7-5, 6-4 win in New York. He's now going to face Taylor Fritz, the 9th seed Taylor Fritz, who is one of the 3 American men in the quarterfinals. Fritz is 25 years of age and he won 7-6, 6-4, 6-4 against Swiss qualifier Dominic Stricker, joining Francis Tiafoe and Ben Shelton, also progressed to the next round of the competition. So that's it. That's the latest update. We'll let you in on the matches ongoing at the moment, if there is any, and how things are panning out. Let's start with Iga Swiatek. Is this how consistent you guys want to be in the women's game, Queen?
Well, there is still a level of consistency. There's still a level of consistency.
Maybe like this, Serena Williams do get 23.
I know. It's going to be difficult. I told you, there was a time we were talking about this thing and comparing them with Serena Williams. And I said it's going to be very difficult. You know why? Because each time you see in the women's tennis, there's always someone coming up. There are people who are always taking their tennis very serious, and you just don't know what happens. If you sleep, something surprising, could just happen. And you look at Ostapenko herself that defeated Iga Swiatek. She has not really been a bad player, so to say.
Are you sure?
Not that.
Since 20. Which year she won the French Open?
2018.
Is it? No, that sounds too.
Too close?
18. That sounds too close. Since she won the French Open, she has been nowhere to be found.
Yeah, but then you know how they do. The other lady went out, had a child, came back, and then boom, all of a sudden
Kim Clijsters.
So I feel like for the ladies, for the women tennis, there is just so much competition that if you sleep, you get beaten, and that's what has happened. But for consistency, Iga is consistent. You always know that she will make it to the latter stages of the competitions, round of 16, quarterfinals. Same with what's her name, Coco Gauff. If she's in her
mood. When we're talking about consistency in this context, we are looking at
getting to the finals,
the Grand Slams, not even getting there,
winning it back to back,
deliver it. For instance, now let me take you back to Naomi Osaka.
Yeah,
my baby mama, by the way. Now Osaka was averaging. Did you hear anything?
Okay.
Osaka
was averaging a Grand Slam a year. That's consistency.
But
so you're setting that.
But
every year
has that record.
But this is US Open and it's the penultimate Grand Slam for the calendar year. Next is going to be Wimbledon, and that. Okay, this is the last Grand Slam of the year. Yeah, and then it's done.
Yeah, it's just this year. Since she came into the limelight, she has won a Grand Slam every year. If not for this year, she would not be winning any. So for me, I feel like she's still consistent. There's still that level of consistency. But the thing is, the competition is too much.
Okay.
Tennis, players are becoming so serious with their tennis, especially the ladies, and they are doing everything possible to get to that point.
Right.
And I feel like for me, the reason why I would say there's consistency is that some of the names that you expect are still within. Ons Jabeur is still there. Coco Gauff is still there, even though Ostapenko might not have been as vibrant as she used to be when she won her Grand Slam back in the years. She's still a name that you can reckon with. Kenin, a lot of them. Sofia Kenin. All of them. It's just that somehow the next season they might not be able to make it down to the quarterfinals, but you will still get these names, these regular names, so to say.
Right,
so for me, I feel like it's a pity. What's her name? Iga wasn't able to at least get to the finals, defend your title, and see if you can retain it or lose it. That would have been more better for her. But then at this stage, it is what it is. People are stepping up their games, and you just have to be more concentrated to be able to dispatch some of these ladies.
Okay, so surely Iga has won a Grand Slam this year. By the way, she won the French Open. Yeah. So you could, if you talk about consistency, except 2021 where she was without any Grand Slam, but since she came onto limelight since 2020, French Open 3-time winner, so she looks like the Queen of Clay these days. Then the US Open she was hoping to defend, but unfortunately couldn't defend it. Who is the awesome favorites now to win? Iga is out. When anytime I see Iga play, it reminds me of Ashley Barty, the Australian. That aggressiveness. So who do you think is the awesome favorites now in the women's game to clinch it? Ons Jabeur is still there. She has been in and around the finals and the quarters and the semis as well.
In the women's game, I can't give an awesome favorite because I think competition is not there. The level of competition is reduced by way down since Serena Williams left the stage. Then looking at
was there competition during the time of Serena Williams?
Yeah, I'm sorry, consistency.
Will you say there's mistake? Will you say there is competition?
He corrected the consistency.
Not competition.
Individual consistency, by the way.
It's the same thing. All matters together. How you progress through the rounds. Because after Serena Williams left the stage, I'm not saying anybody that can hold their own against each other in female tennis. But for anybody that going to win it, I think Coco Gauff might be in and around there. Ons Jabeur.
Is it because you're dragging her with me?
I don't understand. I'm from Makana, sure. Then look at Ons Jabeur. I think she has been disappointing this year.
Yeah.
The Australian Open, she had an excuse for. Is it Australian Open or French Open? That one she lost against. I think it's one of those. I think
she won the French.
She won the French.
No, one of them. She reached the finals and it was. Okay, the Wimbledon Open. Yeah, the Wimbledon that she lost in the finals, and it was in that time for revenge and sort of that, and she lost to the same person. So I think this is her last time to hit that strike. Now, if she cannot hit this strike, I think there are other favorable names there. I think Bencic is still around.
Linda Bencic is out.
I think she's out. Okay, she's out.
She's
sorry.
out.
Then, so it's
we have Coco Gauff, we have Ons Jabeur, We have Yelena Ostapenko, who of course sends the defending champion packing.
I can't give Ostapenko any chance because I think her level of game has really dropped. And look at Ons Jabeur, she has been around that final, semi-final for the past 3 Grand Slams. So I think it's that Ons Jabeur or Kokokov.
All right, so let's move straight up to Formula One. It was a day for record, and it was no other person than Max Verstappen. By the way, before I move, Uzo, Novak Djokovic is still there. Carlos Alcaraz is still there. Look, we are looking at things, and in the end, feels like in the end, it's just going to be either of Novak or Alcaraz wins the men's game.
Yeah, always. Since these two men decided to come out to prove themselves, it has been Djokovic all this while. Let me say, after Rafael Nadal had that injury and he was not really able to keep up with the competition, Djokovic has been the person that has been on the limelight. And then young Alcaraz came in, and I know the first time when Alcaraz came in, we all thought or had this mentality that he was a fluke, right? But he came in and then he decided to tell the world that no, I am not just a fluke. I'm here to stay, right? Now, look at what happened in the last finals that they played. The first set, 6-1, right?
Yeah.
Easy past 6-1. Like, we are like, this is not what we expected to see. But goodness me, from the second set, we saw a different Alcaraz coming to that game, and he turned that game and came up to win that one. So I still feel that it's still going to be the two of them, because I don't see anyone that is going to come in between these guys. Like, who are you to come defeat Alcaraz at this point? Or will you come to defeat Djokovic? Even Djokovic is, I don't want to say he's afraid, but he has said that he would want to always meet this guy at the finals, right? Now the problem is, who will knock out Alcaraz for Djokovic to play? You understand? Yeah. So I still feel that it's still the game of these two individuals.
All right, so in Formula One, Red Bull's Max Verstappen broke a Formula One record with his 10th consecutive win as he overcame Ferrari's valiant challenge at the Italian Grand Prix. The Dutchman was held back by pole winner Carlos Sainz Ferrari for 14 laps, but his pressure paid off when an error from the Spaniard gave him his chance. Sainz locked his brakes into the first, and that allowed Verstappen to pass the Ferrari into the second chicane at Monza. So in the end, it was 10th consecutive win for Max Verstappen, and that moves him clear of Sebastian Vettel's total of 9 also achieved in a Red Bull car in 2013. Guys, do you want to talk about Formula One? Anybody want to talk about Formula One?
That is a one man's competition.
Okay, so let's move. So just know that I decided to take that part of the report so that you knew that there was a record and it was broken by Max Verstappen. So 10 in a row. Awesome. In football now, the Nigerian Football Federation and Mr. Ose Santos Peseiro have reached an agreement for the latter to continue in his role as head coach of the senior men's national team of Nigeria, the Super Eagles. As stipulated in the original contract drawn in May 2020, the Portuguese has been handed the mandate to lead the Super Eagles to, in the minimum, the semi-finals of the 34th Africa Cup of Nations finals, taking place in Ivory Coast in a few months. Peseiro has called for the first time Belgium-based centre-back Jordan Torunariga and forwards Victor Boniface and Gift Orban, and there are recalls for Portugal-based left-back Bruno Onyemaechi and defensive midfielder Rafael Onyedika. All invited players are goalkeepers Francis Usoho, Ojo Olorunleke of Enyimba, put it there, very important, Adebayo Adeleye. Defenders are Olaoluwa Aino, Tyrone Eboye makes a return, Jordan Torunariga, William Truss Ekong, Shemi Ajayi, Calvin Bassey, Jamilu Collins, and Bruno Onyemaechi. Midfielders are Wilfred Ndidi, Rafael Onyedika, Joe Ayodele Aribo, Frank Onyeka. Up front, we have Kelechi Iheanacho, Samuel Chukwueze, Moses Simon, Ademola Lookman, Victor Semen, Taiwo Awoniyi, Gift Orban, Victor Boniface. These are the players invited by Ose Peseiro for the dead rubber game against Sao Tome and Principe. Let's talk about hits from here. First off, Queen. The NFF sent the letter, the correspondence to us that they've agreed the extension of Ose Peseiro's deal, that the Portuguese coach has accepted to take a pay cut. I was looking for something in that correspondence. You know what I was looking for?
what is the pay cut?
How much is it going to be?
How much?
Because we knew, and the funny thing is that it wasn't even from the NFF directly that we knew that the man was earning $70,000.
Yeah.
We had to do digging upon diggings to find out.
Yeah.
You don't accept pay cut. Ordinarily, you hear 70%, 30% pay cut, and then we can now do the math. But that later was as vague as you could get. The only thing there was that, okay, the man has accepted a pay cut.
Well, that's the nature of what happens in this country. We are not as transparent as we need to be. And NFF themselves, I don't understand. They've told us this man has agreed a pay cut. We cannot be so sure. We can't be so sure that this man actually accepted.
If the man, recall that there was a time that he was pronounced to be the head coach of the team.
Yes.
And the man came out on social media and said, I've not had that kind of agreement. So I'm thinking...
Maybe, but still, I won't even be surprised if things go bad and we begin to hear a lot of issues surrounding this pay cut and all of those. But it is what it is. That's the pattern of our country. They sign deals, they don't tell us how much the deals are worth. They sign contracts, we don't know how much is involved, except we have to go on and dig before we could, come up with it. But Jose Peseiro, well, semi-finals, I really do not know. Seriously, I really do not know. The reason why I'm afraid is because even if you say Jose Peseiro should not continue, you are not even so sure
of what they're going to bring as a replacement. At least they've told you that if the man refused the extension for a pay cut, they're going to bring a coach that the NFF can afford.
So for them to have said that, you're going to be expecting someone way below the pedigree of Jose Peseiro, and that will not be good for the Super Eagles. I mean, this is the pride of Nigerian football. This is the biggest team as far as Nigeria is concerned, and to an extension, the African region. So you look at the players where they ply their trade outside, and then the kind of coaches they work under, and you come back to the national team, and you begin to see the kind of coach they are working with, and you wonder, personally, why won't they not perform their best? Maybe over there in Europe, the coach is trying to tell you how you could marshal out as a striker, put you in position where you can get the balls and score the goals. And right here, they're telling you to fall back and take the ball and all of those. It's confusing, and sometimes it just dampens your morale and confidence. But it is what it is. He has taken a pay cut. Let's hope that we do not hear more issues surrounding this pay cut as time goes on.
Right call by the NFF to get Peseiro to accept a pay cut and continue, or that was a chance to go for a more quality coach.
More quality coach in what aspects? As another question, because I'm looking at the market right now. Who is there that we can punch out of the market and look at the pay? Can we pay him? That's the issue. I always have to pay him. General was owed over 8 months.
If you're paying this man $70,000,
Raw was earning $50,000, and then there was an increment when Peseiro was brought in $70,000.
This guy, we are owing these guys.
Sha accept to pay first.
So these guys are being old. So, but Laurent Blanc is a nice idea, but I don't think he will fit into the Super Eagles because the kind of style we play based on the wings, and since Peseiro has come in, it's not still working with him playing to the midfield. And if you come with Laurent Blanc, it's almost the same tactics. So I feel okay, but not particularly great or okay with the plan with him giving an extension, because if you look at the Peseiro since he took over from the Super Eagles, I don't think there's any increase in the Super Eagles based on players' performance, tactical performance.
They've not won a match 10-0 before in the history of the national team, and they did defeat South America.
Then 10-0. I think since he came, he lost 5 games friendlies.
He has only lost one competitive match. That was the qualifier against, I think, Guinea-Bissau.
The 1-0 defeated in Nigeria here. And that was a blunder. How can you lose your home ground? That's
he won. He qualified the team with the game to spare. This is the
same thing I always said. We are always accepting mediocrity here. Raw did the same thing, and so why is it we should celebrate the man for just doing it?
But no, I'm saying on the aspect of here's your call, right? Your call. It's totally your call, and that's understandable. But from the angle of the boxes the man was given to tick, first off, qualify the team for the AFCON, take the team to at most the final of the AFCON, maybe at least the semi-final, according to this renewed contract. And the man is on road to do that. So why don't you give him the credit?
I'm saying the contract look flawless. That is what I can even do it in Super Eagles. Sorry.
Yeah.
All due respect
Yeah,
to
it
say,
could change.
because I think it's just like going to PSG and telling someone to win a Premier League, the French League on. That's your contract. That's obviously mediocrity.
So what happens if the Nigerian Super Eagles were that good? Why haven't they won since 2013? And even that 2013, people are still saying that it was a fluke because they came out of nowhere.
That's what I was saying. NFF has reduced the giant of Africa in quotes, blah blah blah.
To
they're
no longer giants,
squirrels of Africa.
Yes,
it's a reality.
Look at this one.
All right, they play. Okay, so let's look at the team now. Also, the players invited. I've read out the players invited from the defense line to the forwards, the goalkeepers as well. What do you make of it? Any player excluded that should have been here? There are new invitees as well. You know, you look at where is it? Gift Orban was like shown like a million stars. I think that was last season. Victor Boniface sealed the deal to Bayer Leverkusen is here. There is also
Jordan
Terunariga. Hope I'm getting that pronunciation right. I think I'm flowing with it gradually. Terunariga is also there as a defender. You know, Bruno Miyemechi makes a return. You comfortable with the list? Any exclusion? Supposed inclusion?
A supposed exclusion, which is Calvin Bassey. I've not really seen what Calvin Bassey have done in especially in the Premier League. I think some of the games he was even on the bench, because he had a red card on his debut, right? So Calvin Bassey to me should not have been called up to the national team because he's not really giving anything. He was in Ajax, he was bought from Rangers to Ajax, and he couldn't do anything in Ajax, and they sent him to Fulham. Also in Fulham, the first game you came into, you had a red card. So I don't see Calvin Bassey being that defender that Nigeria really needs, because we need someone.
Who would get if you know call Calvin Bassey?
That's what I wanted to ask.
No, I know you asked me who we have, right? I prefer you bring back Balogun. Yeah. I prefer Balogun to Calvin Bassey.
Comes with experience.
Okay. Yes, I prefer Balogun.
Or maybe
to
go
Calvin
to South
Bassey.
Africa and bring that my man.
Olisanda.
You understand? So we have this kind of persons. What's Calvin Bassey to me?
Not looking at that.
He's looking very lazy. If you ask me, looking really lazy to me. If I'm with the ball, I can go past Calvin Bassey. I'm telling you the truth.
I know your piece. I didn't doubt that.
I thought that one.
No, I know. As for that one, I know his piece.
Now, let me come down to the midfield. I'm not happy that this guy has injury. Iwobi, because Iwobi is still, to me, he's one of our best players when it comes to that midfield, and he's not really here, so I'm not really happy. Then Moses Simon should up his game. I think they should start him from the bench in this period. So because I think he's not really giving in his all like he did during the AFCON. In the first 2-3 matches. He did very well. The group stages. Moses Simon have dropped for me, so I think others can go. Osimhen is still doing very well. Samuel Chukwueze is doing very well. Lookman, I know he's still shaky, but I think to some extent. So I don't feel I'm okay with this, but Calvin Bassey is just my problem in this list.
I think the one name that is missing there is Ivan Wachekum. I don't understand why he's dropped there, because this is a dead rubber game.
It's they move from the
Bender Insurance
to
I can't remember the team name again.
I'm going to confirm, boy. He had one of the high profile moves.
What I'm saying is this is a dead rubber game for crying out loud. We don't have anything. Win or lose, we still qualify to the AFCON.
We're qualified already.
What's the need of not bringing a young man to explore his talent there? This man has shown great visibility.
Explore your talent where you are.
Sometimes your leadership will block your talents. It's unfortunately loud, because even I'm looking at the end up attacking front line. I think Joseph Atule, you saw him in the Super 8. Why not try some new legs? This is a dead rubber game. Try some new legs. Put some fresh ideas into these MPFL players that are crying that they are not tactically wise enough. So try the station.
Bothering around what he just said, what Young Chu just said, there's a school of thought that first it's a dead rubber game. Win or lose, we have qualified. Come on, don't go spending, or because you're going to spend monies to bring these guys back to the team, calm them and all of that. You can cut down on cost and then use that opportunity to expose players in the league. Someone said, put together players from Rivers United and Enyimba, or maybe Bendel Insurance and Remo Stars, that they can defeat South and Principe Unuyu What's the essence of bringing the foreign-based players? What's your thought on that? Think that's something the NFF would have considered.
Well, that's something they should have considered actually. But the thing is this: maybe they want to keep a clear record. You know, if
are you saying that players from the MPFL will not be able to beat Sao Tome and Principe?
I am not saying so. What I'm saying is this: combining MPFL players for Jose Pesero simply means you're going to be working with a different set of players whose ability you really do not know.
After all, he has also, by one of the clause in the new contract, is that he is now in charge of the Chan Eagles, the home-based Eagles. So that's an opportunity because you're going to be taking this team to the Chan Championship.
How many times do these teams meet?
It's more or less similar to the A team because you have the Chan Championship.
The reason why it's different is because these people are home-based. These people are foreign-based. So as a coach, you are sure that there are just certain things you won't have to hammer and hammer. They already know. So it's just a little bit of talk here and there. You would even be surprised that some of these Super Eagles coaches working with these foreign-based players, all they do is come to the pitch. You know your position. You know your position. You see what I want from you. You see what I want from you. Pour them on the field of play, and they play their game. But for the home base, it has to take a lot. Man has to understand their abilities. He has to understand that, okay, this is where this person is good at, which he really isn't exposed to, you know.
That's why he has assistants.
And the fact that
Finidi
these players
Coach of Enyimba.
I know.
Katsina, okay, I think he's still with Katsina United.
What's that? Sanusi? Is it Sanusi?
No. Ibrahim Sanusi is also not Ibrahim Sanusi. That's the NFF General Secretary. Don't worry, just go ahead. I remember the coach name I'm looking for.
So now you bring them together. Another thing is they're going to be playing with Sao Tome. Take nothing away from the Sao Tome team. They have already experienced, should I say, continental games. They've had that competition exposure. How many of those MPFA players have that kind of exposure? If not for majorly Enyimba and Rivers United,
can be players from there
who have been to the continent, but they've played
against Bendel Insurance. They've played on the continent as well. There's Rainbow Stars.
What's been their record so far? What's been their record? So for me, I feel like that would be very risky. But if you tell me, mix them up, get some of these foreign-based players, get some of the local-based players, put them together, probably execute the local-based player in the first half, see what result you get. If you need better result, you can switch
and sprinkle them with the foreign-based players.
To the foreign-based players, and that will do the magic. But saying we should just pack all MPFA players, mix them up from anybody's and that, and go and play Sao Tome, well, I'd be surprised that they will just flog us like 10-0.
Okay, so the name of the coach I was looking for is Usman Abdallah. It's part of the setup. There's also Salisu Yusuf. He has coached in the MPFL. It's part of the setup. Finidi just coach of Enyimba, part of the setup. So they should be able to.
They will
finger names of players that are good enough. Put together.
I know, but it's a different feel when you're playing in the local league and when you're playing a very high-profile game like that.
Let's know what you think. Use the SMS on WhatsApp port to 0701 933 9962 0701 933 9962. Who is the awesome favorite in the women's game to win the US Open? The defending champion Iga Swiatek is out. Onjaba is still there. Ilona Ostapenko defeated Iga Swiatek, and then there is also a place for Corey Kokogov. And then for the men's game, more like a battle between Carlos Alcaraz Garcia and Novak Djokovic. In football, starting point is the Nigeria Super Eagles. The right call by the NFF to extend the deal or the contract of Jose Pesero. We don't know the percentage of the pay cut he has taken. They only told us that the man has taken a pay cut. The right call, wasn't that an opportunity to go for a more quality coach? A step up more like it. Because there are Nigerians who are not comfortable with Pesero as the coach of the Super Eagles. And then, in the list of invited players, are you okay with it? There's also the school of thought that pick players from the league. It's Sao Tome and Principe, for crying out loud. So pick players from the league and execute the match. If we can't galvanize the players from the league to beat Sao Tome and Principe, probably you're not worthy of coaching the Nigerian Super Eagles. Because it's not like talents are lacking in the country. Do you subscribe to that school of thought? Let's use the SMS and WhatsApp portal for now. The phone lines are buzzing. I'll get to them in a bit. But for now, the SMS and WhatsApp portal, double at 0701 933 9962. Let's use only that platform for your reactions. In the meantime, it's about time. Are you ready? Because I am. Okay, so we start with Manchester United. Now, it's no more news that United were defeated 3-1 by Arsenal. But this is it. The manager of the side, Erik ten Hag, said that a hat-trick of decisions went against his side during that defeat. He wasn't okay with the officiating. Now, these are the decisions he said went against his side. The first one is the offside that was ruled for Alejandro Garnacho. He said it wasn't an offside. Now, his argument is that the video assistant referee review was from a wrong angle. That if they had seen it from a different angle, they would have seen that it wasn't an offside. The second one is the penalty on Rasmus Højlund. Recall that Højlund was more or less brought down in the box, and the penalty wasn't given. There was a challenge. And then the third one is the Declan Rice's goal. He alleged that there was a foul on Johnny Evans. Of course, if you look at that picture, there was more or less a challenge between was it Gabriel? Yeah, Gabriel Jesus. Was it Gabriel and Johnny Evans that led to one of there was this challenge, and one person went down. It was rather an Arsenal player that went down, and so he said there was a foul there, and so that Declan Rice's goal should have been cancelled. So these are the decisions he said went against his team and resulted in that loss. Queen, do you agree with Ten Hag in all three cases?
Well, not 100%. Not 100%. That of Garnacho, I think I'll make a case for him. I will agree with him to an extent with that of Garnacho. Like I said yesterday, I found out that VAR in the English Premier League, I don't know if I should say they are just too controversial. They have a lot of issues. Now, if you go to the La Liga or even the Serie A, when there is an offside call, right? They give you, should I say, some kind of graphical representation.
But we saw the line.
No. See how that line came? No, Lions, if you saw that line, you know, that line was drawn from the wrong angle, like he said. You remember how they would do? They would turn this other way, draw the line, turn this way, draw the line, before they make the decision. But that line was just drawn one way, one angle. And it, for me, from where they drew that line, it was quite a distance. You can't ascertain. Now, there's a rule that came up recently that for a player to be offside, all of your body.
That rule is not yet official.
Okay, it's not official yet. Now, even at that, you look at that this thing. A part of this guy's body, I don't know how they drew that line, but I know that looking at that goal, if they had drawn those lines properly, they would have been certain if it was an offside or not. But just giving us one angle and one wrong angle, I mean, it simply seems like you're just trying to, you know, paint a picture. We don't draw line. We don't draw line offside. Then what's his name?
The Declan Rice, the challenge on Johnny Evans.
Personally, I felt like there was a challenge, but it wasn't
enough to cancel the goal.
It wasn't enough because I felt like they built a high line of defense. You know, they were so deep into the midfield, and you can't be that deep against players like Gabriel Jesus, Declan Rice, and all of those. They're going to outrun you. For defenders like Johnny Evans, who has lost his pace over time, and Harry Maguire, it really wouldn't work so much like that. So I wouldn't really say. As for the Højlund penalty, maybe there was a touch actually. There was a touch. Maybe the referee felt like it was just too soft.
But there was no review.
And there was no review. That is another thing. That's one of those things we're talking about when you talk about the inconsistency and the controversy that is surrounding the VAR in Premier League. They didn't review it. There was no replay for us to see whether this is truly a penalty or not.
Okay.
It was just that one flash. The same thing that happened, I think it was against this guy, Joao Felix. It just happened and that was it. We didn't see another replay, nothing, and the decision was made. So for me, I think he has some level of case in those two.
Okay.
Yeah, but for the clearized goals,
okay,
I don't think he should be.
All right, so it was Gabriel Magalhaes challenge on Johnny Evans.
For me, there's no case. I think he's just complaining a lot. He has turned to a complainer now. Looking at the case, first of the case, Garnacho, I think yes, one angle proves that he's offside. I'm not seeing any angle that proves that he's worthy to be onside. So.
Did I give you another angle?
I'm saying if you go on
even if you go on
YouTube, go to your goggles, you see the other pictures, but it's proving difficult. This is kind of goal that if they give it good and fine, they not give it the rest.
Oh, that goal would stand without the VAR.
Yeah, that was just a slight. So I think that one, I think is a good call from the VAR stand. Okay. Then Højlund penalty, I think that's that blunder. They get that as a goal. That would be a blunder because we saw Havertz case. That was a clearly touch, but I think the guy fell too down. He fell too early and just tried to pull a foul from the two defenders.
And people are also making a case that it was a 50-50 situation. That penalty should have been given, and if it wasn't given, it was still okay.
That's the same thing. I was talking about the same thing with Højlund. If they give the penalty, okay. They don't give the penalty, so okay. So that should not be a cry. That shouldn't be a cry from Ten Hag. It's them Johnny Evans' case. Go. I think all the cases are not valuable.
Okay,
they just want to cry.
All right, so no case from young Chooks on the part of Erik Ten Hag. What do you think? You saw the match between Arsenal and Manchester United. Do you think he has a case in those three situations he painted out? He said the refereeing went against his team. How impressed were you with Manchester United's performance and Arsenal performance? I'm going to tell us why I'm putting Arsenal's performance. These two teams are in the Champions League, right? What do you think actually was wrong with Manchester United?
I don't really think anything is wrong with Manchester United. It just happened.
No critics back. That's number one. The midfield was dead.
The formation too. The setup was just completely wrong.
When you look at Manchester United and their players, first of all, I'm talking about individually. These are good players, right? But the issues are still there in the midfield. Like I said, leaving that midfield to only Casemiro is going to be very difficult because it will make you to expose him the more. If you have individuals there that are going to give him the assistance he needs, then that midfield will be as strong as that of Real Madrid when he was there, right? So now, if you expose Casemiro a lot and he's not really there to give you or to stop those balls, right? It makes him to maybe want to move around, and when he starts tossing around, simply means the midfield is not empty, and you can't keep your midfield and you expect someone like Eriksen to hold that midfield for you. It can't work too, right? Now at the back line, you also brought in Maguire that even have an issue. I'm not saying he did anything wrong yesterday, right? But you needed players to come into that match. This is a very big game, right? To come in to boost.
But those are the players he has on the bench, and that is his fault.
Now listen.
How is it his fault?
No, listen.
Because he signed players. God bless you. Not even signing players. The squad sheet was. I think that was painful because I looked at the squad sheet. I didn't hear any injury. Messi is injured. Okay. I did not hear anything about McTominay. He's I think the man should be fit. That's unofficially because I'm not hearing anything from United website or Donny van de Beek. These guys are players that can fit into that midfield. He's complaining about Eriksen. Yes, Eriksen will give you his talent is there, the experience is there, but I think he has passed his prime. You should not keep depending on Eriksen and Casemiro. That partnership didn't work last season.
And it will not work because of the two
Casemiro's legs are weak. Eriksen's legs are weak. Bruno did not even play anything yesterday.
But when man you signed this Casemiro, I remember I shouted.
I said I felt like it was a one season thing. Like, okay, let's just use him for this season, and by next season we'll get a player. But probably Casemiro
Manchester
United from the bench.
Manchester United fans made case for Casemiro when he was signed. The experience.
Of course, even the experience is there.
When he came in, he did very, very well, right?
Okay.
But this is the Premier League in which when you come in, sometimes you just know how to find you out, and then it's as if you are nothing.
So Casemiro
I don't think it's him being found out.
I think so, because everyone knows now that McTominay is no longer there. Fred is no longer there. At least these boys were a bit young and energetic, right? Even though they cannot bring that play for you, they might be there to hold up balls, and Casemiro will be like the one in charge of the midfield, but they are no longer there. So an Eriksen Casemiro combination can't do anything. Now up front, I don't really know what's wrong with Rashford now.
Marshall,
it's called him.
Marshall. Marshall. When I saw him that he was the person that was going to start I was like, whoa. You just boy Holland. You have him on the bench. Why don't you start him? This is an Arsenal game. Now for Arsenal, I don't want to look at Arsenal again as that Arsenal we used to look at, have young stars. Arsenal now bringing in ready-made players. This is what Chelsea was doing before. In fact, they are now doing a swap. Chelsea is going back to be Arsenal. Arsenal is going back to be Chelsea, right? Look at the two teams. They are bringing better legs. Forget Kai Havertz not doing really very well. But you saw that when the substitutions they made the games changed. You understand? So I feel that Arsenal has something for us this season. Even though they won't come up with that Champions League, but still pose that threat they posed last season.
But they weren't clinical enough. Arsenal would have been potted.
Yeah.
If Manchester United were clinical.
Now that's what I wanted to say. I feel like that's why I said what was wrong with Manchester United yesterday was the setup of Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag set up his team to defend and go on the counter, and that didn't really work. If they had come out to play Arsenal team to team, I think that what's it called now, that result would have been different. But they were relaxed when they had that energy. When United had that energy, had that team to be able to hurt Arsenal, they were not able to go all out. You see them go back to their 18.
Receding,
they are always receding. Arsenal is piling pressure on them. If it was United in that Arsenal shoe, trust me, it would have been a different case. If you had set up that team, you look at the players he used and see how they are playing. Sometimes
there was a little bit of spike when Højlund was
introduced. Yes, because as Højlund's abilities, you can't stop him from going forward. You can't stop him from taking those dribbles. That's the thing. But for Marshall, sometimes he was even isolated. So up front. So how even when he comes out, before you know, that's when the ball will go there. I think it was the setup from the manager.
I think. All right. I'm not buying into the ideas of Queen. I think United, that's what they have to offer, because I look at that squad, I look at the team sheet, nothing was there. The midfield was there. Bruno didn't even come to the game. I think we should people players that not perform.
So it's just Bruno, because he didn't perform today.
The main reason United could not even make 2 or 3 attacking passes.
Really?
I'm not talking about defensive, passing the ball around your 18. That's not a pass that can create wonders or goals. But Bruno no link to it, to attacking lineup. The miracle that happened at the goal was Eriksen to Rashford. That was the only thing.
So aside Bruno, you have 11 men on the pitch and you want to just call on Bruno.
All right, guys.
Now Bruno will 11 players.
All right, guys. So
people from Chelsea used to
spoken enough. Let's hand over the microphone to our listeners at this one. By the way, Arsenal, 3-1 win. Liverpool, more or less, maybe they are back. 3-0 win over Aston Villa. Crystal Palace 3-2 win. You know, in the La Liga, there was a win for Barcelona. Mallorca drew goalless. You know, Las Palmas were defeated by Girona, and then 4-0 win for Inter over Fiorentina. Torino, Genoa ended 1-0. Empoli, Juventus lost to Juventus 2-0. Salernitana were defeated 2-0 by Lecce. Bundesliga saw Eintracht Frankfurt 1-0 against FC Cologne. Union Berlin lost to RB Leipzig 3-0. And then there was a win for Paris Saint-Germain in the French League on 4-1. So let's head to the front lines and have you talk to us. 0817 00 951 and 0810 951 951. Please, let's keep it short and simple and straight to the point so we can accommodate as many calls as possible. Lost that one, go to line 1. Hi, okay, lost it as well. So do well to call back. Let's see what we have from the SMS portal. Back to the phone line first. Hi, welcome. Good afternoon. Name, location, and contribution. Lawson from Uruguay. Go ahead, Lawson.
I will keep it straight. Count those number of foreign-based players that are invited. Count them. How many are they? And against who? Who are they playing? Nobody.
Sao Tome and Principe.
Nobody. And then you bring this up. Yeah, you bring like maybe 4 or 5 or 6 of home base. It's okay. Or you don't even put them at all. Even if we lose, at least let us try the home game.
Yeah.
Because it's a dead rubber game.
Okay.
And as for Pedro, I don't know why people are saying, bringing me. Does he have pedigree? I challenge anybody there in that studio. Does Pesero has any pedigree at all? I can tell you any of Amonike or Iguago will not lose to Portugal in that friendly the way he did.
All right, Lawson.
The man has no pedigree. I don't know why we are inviting them, bringing them. And Manchester United, Ten Hag has what it takes to win games. He is his own problem. Let him look start within himself and see how he can get that
team
to play their game.
All right, Lawson. Thank you very much for the quick summary. Hi, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, guys.
Simon Rumodumaya, let's have a contribution.
Thank you. I know there is no much time. Let me start
Yes,
from
please.
the Super Eagles. See, I disagree with anybody that is telling me that we're supposed to just use that match because it's a dead rubber game. See, the preparation for Nations Cup already started. You know that this man have not even gotten his team yet. He's still experimentary. So we're supposed to use all these matches now as our preparation. Let the man get in and fight it well. Before you talk of to do trying or whatever. Then for the Arsenal game, I will only say that as an Arsenal fan, which I am, when I was watching that match, I knew a conclusion of everything that we are just lucky. Arsenal, my team, we are just lucky in that match. That decision of that second goal of allow Man U went in favor of us. If not,
the match would have been turned up on its head. All right. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Simon, for keeping it short and simple. Hi, good afternoon to you. Hector from Roma Hollow, go ahead with your contribution.
Thank you, bro. Greetings to the house.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I was so happy about what the developers that came out yesterday.
That NFF extended Pesero's contract, right?
For waiting now.
So what did give you joy?
My brother, as I asked now, a London rival restore our joy. You know, when we lose game on Saturday, everybody was funny that the whole world was jumping around us. They were shouting, they were jubilating. Look at the way small boys of boys with bike and comfortably put on boys in Okoro to beat Manchester United. And Arsenal boys were using them to play Bang.
So anything where Chelsea if you do now, Arsenal go do one for them.
London rival, the London brother, they at least they don't need to do it for now. They have been able to make sure say they are elder brother for now.
So London is not red. London is no longer blue.
No,
all right, it's all right. Okay. All right, it's all right. Thank you very much. Let's keep it there so we can accommodate as many callers as possible. Good afternoon. My name is Sylvester. Congrats to Thomas Tuchel of Bayern for the visit Borussia Mönchengladbach at their home, because for over a decade Bayern Munich have struggled to get a result over the hurricane effect. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Hi, good afternoon to you.
Good evening. Good afternoon.
Yes, please name, location and contribution.
It's Mr. Webb.
Okay, go ahead.
Only for Port Harcourt.
Go ahead.
I just want to, I hope I'm clear, please.
Yes, please.
I just want to dwell mostly on the United match, Penal United match. I think that Canacho goal was not offside. If you watch the line drawn, they drawn the line down, get off. And why the head, both the hands were all forward, but they drawn it from the down. I just understand.
All right, Mr. Webb.
For Ten Hag, I think Ten Hag is one of the problems we have. I'm not seeing so much of it. Remember, many times one Bissaka was to go, but one Bissaka proved his case. He let him be. If not, he would have told him earlier. He took his teams, letting some players go. Look at the way.
All right, Mr. Webb. Thank you very much. Let's leave it there. We are trying to accommodate many reactions. KM Houseford says, good afternoon, sports guys. Reliance, compare the qualities in the top team. I don't see Manchester United as contenders for even top 4. As for Chelsea, the results will start coming after 6 matches. Chelsea will be unplayable. Okay, now don't start. Also, you're very biased. Calvin Bassey is the best we have. If you are better, why were you not invited? Oh my God, don't take a personal.
I ain't a player now.
Don't take a personal. You.
I'm not a player.
I am Emmanuel. Okay.
I'm not a player. He's a professional player.
Emmanuel, thank you very much for contributing. Back to the phone lines. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, let's make it count, please. Name, location, and contribution.
Thank you. My name is Mike. I'm calling from Lumudara.
Go ahead.
I think I'm comfortable with NSS and the way they go ahead with the arrangement with the coach.
Fair enough.
I don't think I'm comfortable with giving out all the nitty-gritty of your contract. I mean, there are some classified information. If you need it, you go for it.
My brother. Let me help you. Contract signings. You know they had. There's nothing to hide. If just Google how much is Gary Southgate earning, you will see it. It's there.
They don't make it. They don't come out to people's mouths. Even on this, it doesn't work that way.
How does it work? Why is Nigeria's case different?
If you need those information,
how does it work?
If you need those information, look at River State as for example. If you need the budget of you, there is a way you can find it. You can go for it. There are information you give yourself some confidence.
All right.
There are something that are just confidential.
Do you know how much a player earns in a football club, for instance? Do you know how much Ten Hag earns as a coach in Manchester United?
If I need it, I will go. Manchester.
Do you know it? If my brother, these things are not difficult. All right. I don't know why Nigeria's case is different, but contract negotiations and amounts that players earn, weekly coaches earn, are there. If a player is taking a pay cut, the percentage of the pay cut is mentioned. So these things are not rocket sciences. Hi, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
And that's from Delhi. I think you're going to be the last caller, so wrap it up for us.
Okay, thank you very much. Just a quick one. I think Man U do not have a bad squad. It's just the coach not doing good to handle the team. Yes.
Okay, all right.
I try to look at his profile. He has only coached Ajax, and you can't compare LDC to Premier League. So the job is not for him. If not, Man don't have a bad squad. Man you have a squad that can stand anything.
All right.
So it's about the case, not the player.
All right, thank you very much. And unfortunately, we cannot take further reactions, but we'll continue this conversation over the weekend during the marathon edition of the show. 1 p.m. on Saturday till 6 p.m. Same on Sunday. So do join us then. But in the meantime, sports that comes your way tomorrow morning 7:30 a.m. and today's Sports Live makes a return. The Niger special edition of it tomorrow by 3 p.m. My name remains Reliable Reliance Udanya. Many thanks to Young Chooks who put this package together. We also do appreciate Uzochukwu Duma and Queen Chikeze for being part of the conversation, and our appreciation also go to you listeners from your various locations. Thank you very much for being there. Up next will be the news updates at 4 p.m. and Lucky Maxwell is on standby. Good evening to you.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. News update.
Thanks for joining us. Good evening. Here is the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Lucky Maxwell. The Rivers State Governor Simlala Ifura has been called upon to urgently intervene in the current insecurity in Bodo community in Gokana local government area. The Vice Chairman of the Bodo Council of Traditional Rulers, Joseph Poiba, who made the call on behalf of stakeholders in the community during what appeared to be a protest, condemned the gruesome murder of yet another youth from the community by hoodlums terrorizing the community. Poiba, who accused some leaders of the community of sponsoring the criminals who invaded the community to kill indigents at will, revealed that his name is also amongst those listed to be killed by the hoodlums. However, while criticizing the outcome of the meeting organized by the Commissioner of Police over the weekend, said the insecurity in the community is interfering with the lives of indigents, hence the need for the government and government of the state to urgently intervene. It would interest you to know that aggrieved indigents of Bodo community had planned a protest over the reoccurrence of killings in the community. The Rivers State Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency has announced plans to collaborate with the Ministry of Health and the Flood Management Committee to carry out a sensitization exercise across the state. Acting General Manager of the agency, Napoleon Ada, who made this known in an interview with Today.9.1 Sandra Kenneth, explained that the exercise became necessary due to flood warnings. He stated that the agency will also embark on a statewide tour in all flood-prone local government areas in the state, noting that the tour includes measures to ensure that open defecation is not practiced at the various internally displaced persons camps. Youth in Odwal Kingdom in Abua Odwal local government area of River State are calling for the construction of a permanent internally displaced camps for people living in the area. The youth president of Odwal, Gospower Itode, who made this known in an interview with Today.9.1 Sandra Kenneth, expressed concern that the area does not have high land that could accommodate the entire kingdom in the event of floods. He decried the continuous frustration and loss of property and livelihood during the period as he narrated the extent of destruction. Itode also called on the state government to be proactive in ensuring the smooth movement of persons from the local government area. The federal government has appealed to the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress to shelve its planned 2-day warning strike slated to commence tomorrow. The appeal was made by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, in Abuja. He identified the reversal of the gains already made by the federal government, among others, as a reason for the appeal. He also promised to attend the contending issues raised by the NLC holistically if given some time to settle into office. Lalong, however, told the NLC executives that they were yet to furnish his office with a letter on their proposed action, saying he got to know of their plans through media reports. Recall that the NLC, after its National Executive Council meeting, had threatened to embark on a 2-day warning strike on the 5th and 6th of this month. On the foreign scene, Russian President Vladimir Putin and his Turkish counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan have begun talks on Ukrainian grain export at the Russian Black Sea resort of Sochi. Today's meeting came nearly 2 months after Russia quit a UN and Turkey brokered agreement that allowed Ukraine to export grain and other commodities from 3 of its Black Sea ports during the war with Russia. The head of the central banks of Turkey and Russia would also be discussing the Black Sea grain export deal on the sidelines of the summit to sort out payment methods. And that's a news update at 4 on Today 95.1 FM. Good evening, I'm Lucky Maxwell.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Radio has never been this good. Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
All stands, greet.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You're welcome to Jagbajantis High School. My name is Sound Sultan, your new mathematics teacher. By the way, do you understand Pidgin English?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what we go use henceforth? Okay, carry your paper. Hey, them for my class. People of this world, them plenty.
Shanty ball.
Sins of this people, many, so many.
Shanty ball.
Many times plenty, multiplier. Many times plenty, multiplier. Multiply am the answer you get now waiting they make come and they cry. The answer you get now waiting they make rich man they mess and leaders they lie. The answer you get now waiting they make young boys and girls join party gang. Answer you get now waiting they make innocent man rot inside the jail. Get it, and then agree to grant and bail. Everybody, oh yeah,
join
Jambajantis, solve mathematics.
We did our continent, so
you both say about mass.
we go use takes.
Solve mathematics. So follow Jambajantis.
So ya carry be for brotherhood.
Love your neighbor as yourself,
Oh, for objectivity.
Be objective, gentlemanly.
Be for democracy.
No matter how bad it is, in the military.
Now M for modification
of our behavior, let's stand to the same behalf.
A accountability.
All right, it's 7 minutes past 4 o'clock. Good afternoon to you and welcome to today's edition of the show, talking about the platform on radio on your premium talk station, Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. I am Prince Ajubo, and as usual, I'm here to give you insight into some of the news reports making the rounds. Of course, we'll be doing this together. First, the headlines on the menu. Leadership of Bodo in Gokana local government area appeals to Governor Siminalayi Fubara to urgently intervene in current insecurity bedeviling the community. Rivers State government reveals plans to sensitize people living in flood-prone areas of impending flood. APC youth in Rivers State protests alleged marginalization by President Bola Tinubu, and Lagos Blue Line Rail begins long-awaited commercial operations. The Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, has been called upon to urgently intervene in the current insecurity in Bodo community in Gokana local government area. The Vice Chairman of the Bodo Council of Traditional Rulers, Joseph Poiba, who made the call on behalf of stakeholders in the community during what appeared to be a protest, condemned the gruesome murder of yet another youth from the community by hoodlums terrorizing the community. Poiba, who accused some leaders of the community of sponsoring the criminals who invaded the community to kill indigents at will, revealed that his name is also amongst those listed to be killed by the hoodlums. Poiba, while criticizing the outcome of the meeting organized by the Commissioner of Police over the weekend, said the insecurity in the community is interfering with the lives of the indigents, hence the need for the governor and government of the state to urgently intervene.
Last week, Friday, Commissioner of Police called to address the matter of killing, but CP not talk about that thing. This morning, you can see the court boys, they can shoot one our brother, our pikin, they call boy. They need governor to come intervene because both women and old men, they hide. They don't know how to take common house because get people, then they send those boys to come our community to spoil our community. Make governor find way to know those people. Even as I talk, my name dey for their hands. All the traditional rulers, their name dey for those boys' hands to kill. I beg governor come our community to give secure where our pikin and our mother get peace. Both farmer don't know if he go farm because.
On his part, one of the youth leaders in Bodo community, Justice Kuzo, noted that apart from the person that was killed, other indigents sustained different degrees of bullet wounds.
We were told that some court group, the leader of that court is Donkey and Sticky John, came in this community this morning with their gang, with rifles, shooting up and down in the community, killing people. People are running helter-skelter. Nobody is able to go to farm this morning. Even fishing, nobody is going to fishing. People are trying to pack out of the community because of insecurities. Our mothers are unable to go to farm. The fishermen are afraid of going to fishing because even in the river, they are in the creek. Bodo City is not at peace. And we are calling on the governor, Sim Fubara. We are calling on all the relevant authorities that they should come to Bodo City. The number of casualties in the community is uncountable. One boy is confirmed dead, but the casualties are uncountable. There are many people that are wounded with bullets.
All right, here is our talking point. Of course, you've heard it said that reportedly that a former military leader in Nigeria did say that when a crisis extends for over 48 hours, very serious people in government have a hand in it. Okay, I don't know what you think about this, but let's take your thoughts on this story and what's happening in this community. Okay, here are the numbers to call to join issues with me. 08170000951, 010-9510951, and 0701-9339-962. Of course, you've got just 1 minute to express yourself or to react to each of the topics. So even when you get through to us, you have just 1 minute, 60 seconds to react. Okay, the numbers once again are 0817 0000951, 010-951-0951. And for your messages, both WhatsApp and text, forward them to 0701-9339-96. So, of course, we're looking at this development, this crisis playing out in Bodo community in Gokana local government area. Okay, so that is it. What do you think? What do you make of what's playing out there? Hello, good afternoon. Okay, could you move away from your radio, please? Okay, he decided to leave. All right, 0817 0000951, 0810-951-0951. And for your messages, 0701-9339-962. Okay, that problem, the crisis, has lingered for a while. And the other time we were told 2 persons were shot dead when some group of boys invaded the community. Some say they are locals anyway. And then here again, yesterday we have been told that one other person has been shot dead. So let's hear your take on this issue. Hello. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon to you and welcome to the platform.
Yes.
Okay, Zion, I'd like for you to speak up a bit, please. Hello? Okay, I cannot make you out, so sorry. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, I'm afraid we might have to move on to the next story. Let's see. Hello? Okay, the numbers 0817-0000951. When you get through, ensure you speak directly into the mouthpiece of your phone. Try to be as audible as you can. 0810-951-0951. That's the second number. The third one for your messages is 0701-9339-962. Okay, if you're struggling to get through, please just keep dialing the number. Okay, thank you very much. Hello?
Yeah, my name is Mr. Keita.
Okay, you're welcome to the show.
I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, good to have you on board.
Yeah, those crises there, let them check their leaders. Their youth leaders are one of those problems. Because now they are doing concrete business around the area. So they will be getting problem regular because of leadership problem.
So what about those armed boys? Who buys the guns for them? How do they procure those guns?
That is the thing. They are the problem. All the big men that are sponsoring all those things. That's why the crisis will never end. Unless the government come in with their initiative, the community is supposed to rise up and say, my people, stop killing yourself. Enough is enough.
Don't you think it's time the government intervened? Don't you think? It's high time they intervened.
Yeah, government is supposed to come in also. But let everyone put their hands on deck so that they can be able to resolve those issues. There's no good to be killing yourself every time. So that's what my take there.
Yeah, all right, thank you. That area and Kana, they've kind of been notorious for this kind of violent communal crisis. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Prince Ajibo.
Yes.
I don't know. This Gokana.
Could we get to meet you first, please? Your name and location first, please.
Prince Ajibo. My name is Lucky. I'm calling from Yenegua.
Okay, Lucky. Good to have you.
Yes. By the way, it's raining here, so. Yes. The Ogonis generally, there is something about them. They fight themselves too much. As a non-indigenous, you can go to Ogoni and you'll be safe. I am telling you, you'll be safe. But within themselves, right from the time of the Ogoni 4, the Ogoni 9, they've been fighting themselves and destroying themselves. It's senseless. When will it stop? Any thing wants to come. When something comes there, they will keep fighting themselves among them. They don't know how to cooperate at all. I think that they need to do some kind of, I don't know, I don't want to suggest what I want to suggest. But they need to start themselves within themselves to find out what is wrong, that they are always fighting themselves and killing themselves. Why? I think it should stop. It's not good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I think the solution lies within themselves there, within them there. Okay, we move on to the next story. The Rivers State Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency has announced plans to collaborate with the Ministry of Health and the Flood Management Committee to carry out a sensitization exercise across the state. Acting General Manager of the agency, Napoleon Ada, who made this known in an interview with Today FM Sandra Kenneth, explained that the exercise became necessary due to flood warnings. He stated that the agency will also embark on a statewide tour in all flood-prone local government areas in the state, noting that the tour includes measures to ensure that open defecation is not practiced at the various internally displaced persons camps. Let's take a listen to him.
The State Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency will collaborate with the Ministry of Health and the State Flood Emergency Committee to carry out sensitization exercise on the flood issue. This has become imperative due to the warnings and what we're expecting in few days concerning the flood issue. RWASA will work on statewide tour of all the LGs affected by the flood to carry out sensitization and advocacy in the various camps and all that. This is because hygiene promotion is key to the problems that will be envisaged in the camp. We have taken it upon ourselves as an agency responsible for hygiene promotion to carry out this exercise. We'll also make sure that open defecation will be eradicated from the various camps, because it will not be proper for people to be defecating in the camp.
Napoleon further clarified that the need for the tour is to properly educate citizens, especially those in the various IDP camps, on the importance of proper hygiene.
Our hygiene volunteers will be trained in the various camps, and we'll make sure that everything will be set in motion. This is because hygiene promotion is key to the problems that will be envisaged in the camp. We have taken it upon ourselves as an agency responsible for hygiene promotion to carry out this exercise. We're also working hand in glove with the emergency section of the Ministry of Health to make sure that these activities are implemented in the various camps.
All right, let's quickly take your take on this and this decision or this plan on the part of the government. What do you make of this, and how relevant do you think it is? Of course, you've heard stories about the impending flood and the federal government and other relevant agencies issuing out warnings to the states and local government areas that have been said are going to be affected. So we have the Rivers State government, or rather the Rivers State Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency, of course, which is part of the government, and the Ministry of Health, as well as the Flood Management Committee, talking about coming up with this plan. So what do you make of this, and how relevant do you think this is? Hello, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm calling from Bayelsa.
Okay, I need for you, could you please move away from your radio set?
Okay, thank you very much.
You too, thank you. Just do that.
I'm very much concerned with the possible plans from the government,
okay,
in order to mitigate the issue of flood victims.
Okay.
And I think it's a very good thing. But however, government are very good in introducing good policy, but actualizing or materializing this policy is what is very challenging and difficult for government to do. Apart from that, we are equally very concerned, and in most times like this, some persons always choose that opportunity to enrich themselves through the government policy. And I want to believe that with this initiative, there will be no foul play if whatever that has been dished out to the flood-prone areas to mitigate their suffering shouldn't be diverted to individual costs.
Okay.
Rather to get to the sufferer.
All right.
That is my humble submission. Thank you very much.
You too. Thank you for your time. But chiefly, this group, they're talking about these agencies. They're talking about sensitizing the people. So I don't think they'll be sharing any palliatives to anybody. The basic thing is to equip them with information. Hello. Good afternoon to you.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, you're welcome to the show, Muriel.
Thank you. It's Muriel, the Africa woman.
Of course.
Look, for us to be hearing this, that means the IGP camps are being put in place. Everything is in order and ready for this flood-prone victims.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Then why the advocation for keeping the place? Because that's what we expect, Ajibo. That all the IDP camps should be in place, should be ready. In fact, it should be ready before this time. Now, when they are talking about open defecation, they should ensure that there are enough toilets and bathrooms. Ajibo, what concerns me most is to ensure that there's security and molestation. Look, this is a place where people will gather. They should ensure that children are being kept safe, that they will not be molested, and sanitary pads, this sanitation for women, adequate sanitary pads should be provided. All these things should have been put in place now. The floods are here now, Ajumo. So what are they advocating for when all these things are not in order?
Okay, maybe they are hoping. Maybe they are hoping those things will be in place before the floods come proper. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, hello. All right, we'll move on to the next story, the next item on our plate. Members of the youth wing of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State have staged a protest to the state secretariat of the party in Port Harcourt, accusing the APC-led federal government of allegedly marginalizing members of the party in the state. They aggrieved APC youths who carried placards with different inscriptions like the appointment of members of the opposition parties into ministries and parastatals rather than APC members is against the party constitution. It's either APC or APC. We cannot continue to label and others reap, amongst others. One of the leaders of the protest, Priestley Nna, who is the leader of the APC Ward 9 in Obiakwa local government area, said the protest is to register their grievances against the APC-led federal government, who has allegedly handed over the rights and privileges of the party to the opposition party members. Now, in an interview with Today FM's Uchendo Ejoho, called on President Bola Tinubu to reverse the appointments given to persons from Rivers State and give them to APC members to reflect the constitution of the party.
We are protesting the continued appointment of PDP members by the APC-led federal government into boards, parastatals, and ministries of government. We said that was not proper. The constitution of our party provides that all APC government at all levels must give priority to members of the party when it comes to appointment. We are shocked that ours is different. Out of 4 appointments the president has graciously conceded to the state, almost all have gone to PDP members, and we have paid our dues. We are calling on Mr. President because we understand that he is a father and he has a listening ear. And we know that he is a real party man who understands the importance of reward and party loyalty. To please review this appointment.
All right, I'll be bringing you in on the conversation shortly, but I have here with me the leader. Okay, one of the leaders of the protest, Priestley Nna. As I mentioned earlier, he is the leader of the APC in Ward 9 in Obiakwa local government area. Good afternoon to you, Priestley, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you very much.
So, what prompted this protest today? Could it be the last appointment, the revelation that some persons in the state who were appointed to the NDDC board were not actually members of the APC in Rivers? What actually prompted this move today?
Okay, thank you very much. I must say thank you for letting me in on your platform. Today's protest was triggered by the series of appointments that the president has made recently, from Rivers State. I think we've been stomaching enough. We just felt that...
As the APC in Rivers State?
Yes, I think we just felt that this is the time where we have to speak up so that we don't die of silence. I think that's why we put up the protest and then sent out an open letter to the president.
Okay, we understand it's the youth wing of the APC. Some will wonder why. What about the main leadership of the APC? Why are they silent on this issue?
Well, leadership comes with a lot of responsibilities, one of which involves managing issues, and trying to keep them off the public radar. But as youths, and you know how youths could be, we felt, we think we need to also adopt some a bit more aggressive measures to draw the attention decisions of the authorities and, of course, Mr. President to this thing that we consider an anomaly. That is actually why you see the youth spearheading it.
Okay, so it happened here in Port Harcourt. One would have thought that. Okay, you said you also wrote an open letter.
Yes, wrote an open letter to the president, which is on national dailies and it's also on national TVs.
So why did you carry your protest to Abuja, for instance?
Well, this is the preliminary stage of what we intend doing, and we as loyal party men, we felt that we must start from somewhere.
Okay.
And starting from home, we felt was the right thing. With time, we should be able to move this protest to Abuja, and if we don't get the right response from the president.
Okay, so you're expecting a right response, and that would be because you made some demands.
Yes, naturally, our demands is in line with natural law and the spirit of the constitution of our party. We haven't said anything that is outrageous or out of place. We are saying, as party members, as persons who have worked for the party, who have toiled for the party, I mean, you are in Rivers State, you may be aware of the various crises, political crises that have, engulfed the political arena in the state. And we have been on the receiving end. This is because of our membership of the APC. So now that the party is in power, we are saying the rewards should come to the party and not to the opposition that have been on our neck all along.
Okay, but you've made some very difficult demands, and we'll get to that shortly. Now, you've accused the president, Bola Tinubu, of flouting the constitution of the party when it comes to appointment. I wanted to explain more on that. What does the constitution say about appointing members of the party into positions by the president?
Okay, fine. The constitution of the party, Article 9, subsection 3 of the APC constitution states clearly that all government at all levels, whether the federal or the state, shall accord priority to members of the APC when it comes to appointments into ministries, boards, parastatals, and what have you. I think that is a very strong part of the constitution that encourages loyalty and commitment to the party. Of course, what it means is if you have a PDP man or someone that is not a member of APC that is qualified for a particular position, and you have an APC member that is equally qualified, your first priority should be given to that APC person. That's the spirit of the constitution of our party. And we feel that this protest is also trying to draw Mr. President's attention to it. We also agree that the president has the prerogative to decide who to appoint. We are saying that while exercising these powers, do it considerately, in fairness to the party, your own party in the state.
Would it not have been better to have appealed to him instead of protesting and accusing him of going against the party's constitution?
No, we are not actually accusing the president of going against the parties. What we are saying, maybe you have forgotten. We are reminding you. The president is quite busy. It's a big office. We are saying perhaps he has not been guided properly. And perhaps there is need for you to remember that this part of the constitution exists. And in our open letter, we appeal to him. We say, yeah, we understand. You are a father. You're a party man. We know your antecedents when it comes to partisan politics. And we know that you are very much aware of the misfortunes of our party in this state. It becomes very difficult for us to understand why these things will be happening at this point.
Okay, now let's look at some of the demands you've made. But one would think we have Chief Tony Okocha on the board of the NDDC as this River State representatives. He's not a member of the APC.
Well, I'd like to decline comment on that because I'm not in the position to decide who is a member of the APC or not.
Because if you count him, you count Buma Iyaye and you count the former River State governor, 1 out of 3, one would say, to an extent, it's not as bad as some persons will think.
Like I was saying, for some reasons, I would not want to comment about the membership of Tony Okocha. The provisions for qualifies one for being a member of a party are in the Constitution, and I'm sure part of it is being registered in a unit and in your ward. I don't know if he's registered in his ward, and so I'm trying not to delve into that matter for now.
All right. So you want the president to reverse the appointment of former Governor Nyesom Wike and that of Buma Iyaye? Is that what you're calling for?
Well, that would be up to the president, but we are saying that the right thing should be done.
Okay, you didn't mention that specifically.
Yes.
But you said something about reversing some of the appointments, right?
Yes, we did say so.
Okay.
We did say that the president should review some of these appointments.
Okay.
So it will now be up to him to decide which to do.
Okay.
But like you said, we are expecting a situation where members of his party will be given a sense of belonging with his appointment.
All right, and that would mean when they appoint some persons you think should be in that, who are worthy or deserving, right? You think those ones who have been appointed now are not members of the APC?
Yes,
okay, that's what it is.
That's
like
what we're saying. Exactly.
That's what it is. All right, let me throw open the phone lines and hear what the listeners got to say about this. Okay, so I've just had a few time with one of the leaders of today's protest, and you've heard what he has to say. So tell me your own thoughts on this very protest and the requests. It's enough demands, the request being made by the APC youths in Rivers State. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, can you hear me? Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you. Dr. Chris, I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay, good to have you.
Thank you. Well, they say when the good man rules, the people rejoice. And when the man who we don't consider
not good man, righteous. And it's different from being
righteous.
good.
Well, I don't want to go into the passages of the Bible. Okay. I just want to draw inference from the Bible.
Okay, go ahead.
You see, the gentleman who is in the studio complaining about the current president, whom we know in Rivers State, allegedly did not win election in Rivers State. What do you expect him to do? Well, so made himself a president. For instance, no number of votes allotted to him.
Wait, you say somebody made himself the president? I want to get it clearly.
Sorry?
Did you say he made himself the president? What is it that you said? What was that you said?
What I said that allegedly, we all know that Tinubu did not win election in Rivers State. Allegedly.
No, you are alleging.
We are alleging.
Who are we now? You're one person. You're one person.
No, Obi is alleging. Labour Party is alleging. PDP is alleging.
Okay.
And that is why
from that perspective. Okay, go on.
Now, on that perspective, now the man who is there asking him to do the right thing. You see, your foundation that is poorly laid cannot stand test of time. Brother who is there complaining, the youth, the young man is a youth, I know, complaining. How do you expect a fish to give rise to a snake?
So make your point quickly so we can move on to another
My
call.
point is that the foundation is faulty.
Okay.
Swallow your pin and drink water and forget it. Go and sleep.
All right.
And all the youth in APC River State who are complaining, you're wasting your time. The foundation is faulty already. It cannot yield anything good.
All right, thank you. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hi, Adibo. It's Africa woman.
Okay.
Thank you, Adibo. Adibo, see, first of all, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. Now, for your guest to say he doesn't know if Saturday Okosha is a member of the APC, then I think he's not.
No, he said he didn't want to comment on that.
No,
he's
not really sure. He's not sure. Look, Adibo, we know that APC is divided into two factions in the state. And if it's clear that the Tony Okosha faction works for Bola Tinubu, then according to them, the work one is due for its wages. They should go ahead and end their wages. So if their faction was busy depending on their leader, and we did not see any clear work that they did. We did not see them going to stations advocating for the current president.
Okrika woman, how could you have known from where you are based in Okrika?
I listen to all the radio stations with my little phone, with my little radio. Yes, and I listen, and I heard Tony Okosha going to different radio stations. I even saw head Magnus Adre, he's campaigning for his own self, but not necessarily for Tinubu. But I did not see the native faction go to radio stations or carry placards campaigning for Tinubu.
Right.
So they should leave the doors are built, should live in the houses. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, you're welcome to the show. Okay, could you be more audible, please?
I greet you just in the studio.
Yes, go ahead, he can hear you.
When the foundation is destroyed, what shall the righteous do? The foundation is in faulty, according to my brother, Dr. Chris. So this is what they will be saying. Even the former governor of Rivers State, I think one of his the general of Bawara, that is now, has just started. We're just watching.
So I know that when the right time comes, Labour Party will take their position. God bless you.
Okay, wish you all the best. All right, I'll have you react. I'll use 1 minute or two to react, and then I'll move on to my final story. Okay, so the APC, I don't know if there are two factions, but I understand there's one leadership in Rivers State, so I don't know about the two factions. Okay, is there a part of the APC that campaigned against the president or did not support, were not enthusiastic about him becoming president, did not give him all the support?
Well, first, I don't want to give in to that statement that there is faction in APC, because if there is faction in a system and there is a meeting of the party in Abuja with the national will have to invite both factions, to be fair. But I haven't seen that happen. Whenever there is a meeting or any function, it is the party leadership, that singular leadership that goes. So it simply means that that faction they are claiming is not recognized by the party. So, but I want to address some of the points that the Okrika woman raised.
Okay,
the second caller. She said that the Koyokocha faction, according to her, voted for Tinubu, and then the other faction didn't. Well, I said I am the leader of my ward. Of course, I led my people to the presidential polls, and we voted for APC for President
Your
Tinubu.
Candidate.
Yes. So I don't know where they get all that from. That's what I have to say to her.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you for coming on the show, and I wish you well. I'm sure you will love for Tinubu, President Tinubu, to give you one appointment, right?
Sure. If it comes, why not?
Of course. Thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Priestley Nna.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm done with Priestley Nna. So let's take our final story, before we wind down. Of course, we have one more story left. The Lagos Rail Mass Transit Blue Line system has begun its long-awaited commercial operations, with the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu becoming the first passenger to board the inaugural ride from the Marina Terminal en route Mile 2. Sanwo-Olu was accompanied by his wife Ibi Joke, Deputy Obafemi Hamzat, Secretary to the State Government Bimbola Salu Hundeyin, among other government officials. According to the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, for the first month, the train will run 12 trips with the locomotive system, but will begin the electric-powered train operation with 76 trips. Between 150,000 and 177,000 passengers are expected to take rides from 5:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. The first phase of the rail line extends from Marina to Mile 2, with 5 stations located in Marina, National Theatre, Igomu, Alaba, and Orile. All right, talking points. Now, looking at this, there's a time we used to say, when you talk about Lagos in those days, in the 70s and the 80s, you talk about Bendel State and you mention Rivers State too, all in one breath. But now it does seem like Lagos State is miles and miles ahead of the other states. But what do you think Rivers State and other states can learn from the Lagos State government's approach and investments in road, in rail, and in marine transport? I understand that there are other phases to this Blue Rail line, okay? This is just the first phase. There are plans to also expand the rapid bus transit, okay, or bus rapid transit, and of course, marine transport in the state. So what do you think, or how do you think Rivers State and other states in the Federation can learn from the Lagos State government's example? Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Prince Ajibo.
Yes, you're welcome to the show.
God bless you this afternoon. This is Chijoke calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay, Chijoke.
Did I hear you APC complain of marginalization?
We're done with that story. We'll come back to it.
The issue of train.
Yes, we're looking at Lagos. Yes, what Lagos government is doing. Okay, so sorry about that. Please call back. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Prince Ajibo.
Yes, I'm with you. Good afternoon to you and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Gifts from Yenagua, the Prince Ajibo himself. I was angry. I was trying to call you, no way, but it is well. When you come back, I believe I will succeed in calling him.
Okay.
Let me contribute concerning, you were asking what do other states to copy from Lagos State.
Yes.
Do you know that in Rivers State, someone tried this, but at the end of the day, because he was not serious with that very project, that monorail, This one is blue and red line, but his own monorail. He was not serious. If you are serious, you behave like Wike. If you remember, Wike will give you timeline in terms of projects that he's serious about.
Okay, so how can we learn?
From
How
now
can we?
to this time,
Yeah.
this is what every governor needs to do. To put up that, if you understand, the red line is being constructed by Sanwo-Olu. Why this blue line? From the time of Jakonde, according to their history in Lagos State, Fashola was the one who kick-started where this other man, Jakonde, stopped. And today now, they are flagged off that very project. So any state that is serious, number one, continuity. And that is what the immediate past government is trying to do. River State, continuity.
There has to be a definite plan first, a definite roadmap before you talk about continuity. You agree with me? There has to be a definite roadmap, a plan, before you talk about continuity.
Prince Ajuba, were you not in that hall, when Giladeja was the one who spent their own money in terms of because of all these projects?
But thank you. We need to run. Thank you very much. But we know the River State has been about roads, yes, but we'd like to see marine transport too. We would like to see something done in the rail area as well, okay? But thank you, all the same gift from Yanagoa. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, sorry about that. Missed that one. 0817000 951 010 9510 951. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Prince Akibo.
Yes.
When it comes to Lagos, please don't even say it at all. Lagos, I can tell you, they are at European level. That's where they are. Well established water transport, land transport, rail transport, air transport. Well established. A city, Lagos is a metropolis, for Christ's sake, just the way Port Harcourt is. I feel that Port Harcourt really didn't grow at all with all the resources. Yes, Port Harcourt didn't grow. If not, Port Harcourt should be. Look at even the revenue, the way they generate their revenue, the amount of revenue they generate. So for me, Lagos, the level where Lagos is, I don't think any state is close to Lagos at all, even by half. There's no state that was. For me, I don't know when. Just like the monorail. Monorail was something that was not realistic. But I think there should have been rail in River State, but not that of monorail. It wasn't realistic at all. But I can tell you, Lagos is top class.
Okay.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you for your time. All right, we'll go back to the very top and do a rehash of the four topics or headlines we're looking at as we begin to wind down to the 5 o'clock hour mark. Leadership of Bodo in Gokana local government area appeals to Governor Siminalayi Fubara to urgently intervene in current insecurity bedeviling the community. Rivers State government reveals plans to sensitize people living in flood-prone areas of impending flood. And APC youths in Rivers State protest alleged marginalization by President Bola Tinubu. Lagos Blue Line Rail begins long-awaited commercial operations. Okay, you know how we do it now. When you call in, you can react to all four headlines as we begin to round off. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hello, Prince Ajubo, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
It's to calling you from Umaholo.
Okay.
No, Lagos State, you ask a question. What will other states do to learn from it? They don't need to learn anything from the Lagos State. Because all of them went to abroad, see all these things, they enter all these things through their transportations and the rest, but for ability for them to bring them back home is the problem. For the fact that the government of Lagos State continuously doing it to their people to make the lives of their people better does not mean that our people out in here did not see all those things out there in abroad and other places. So what is the problem in this particular region is that whosoever that become a governor, if he has 10 cars and 130 houses before he come down, the incoming government or governor want to have times 2 or times 3 of that. They don't want to know the plight of the people. Nobody cares about how to make life better for people. Did you know that in Lagos State, in this palliative, when they want to they share the palliative, they share it both indigenous and non-indigenous. But when you come to this region and this particular state, when they want to do things like that, you, as a non-indigenous, you never perceive anything.
All right, thank you.
So the greediness and the selfishness, I don't think that it will depart from us. Thank you, but we will decide to do that.
Okay, all right. Thank you for calling in. Hi, Prince. I'm reading the message now. Hi, Prince. The situation across board in the country is that of everyone on his own and God for us all. The trending video alleging police brutality and extortion against one Mr. Daniel, both state and non-state actors, as alleged. This is given credence to the comment you emphasize made by a former head of state that government should prove to us that they don't have hands and interest in this insecurity ravaging the country. Awa, send that one in. Thank you, Awa. Hello, good afternoon. Hello?
Good evening, Admiral.
You're welcome to the show.
My name is calling from D-Line.
Okay.
Let me react on the protest by APC members.
Okay.
Admiral, this protest they are protesting, I don't know the angle. Because why I said so, Tony Okocha is their member. And even minus Tony Okocha, the NDDC belongs to entire Niger Delta. It couldn't even say.
SMS. I don't know your name and where they call us from. Hey, we don't miss them. We're there for call us back. But make we enter SMS sharp.
Oh yeah, SMS people. We don't enter. We don't show. From Kanu Mazia and MC Kuro. Afroism says finish obligation before charity. Rivers State Fire Service has no functional truck and one is being donated to federal agency. Amazing. What's amazing about it? Okay, this boy we kill in father now. Wow, Mazi, countryman and MC Kuro. These are society values don't go down well. I dey fear where this country go day the next 8 to 10 years. Yahoo rituals, akuna scammers, 9B scammers 40% of these young people they into. In the past 8 months, 2 of my learner staff don't awol. I asked them go worried, go do yahoo. Bad, catching well. Yeah, that's true. Greetings, crew. For me, the kind gesture River State government to fund is a good one. But my question is, can a responsible parent forget his kids to fend for other kids? Help me check the status of some of our public facilities. Are they in good shape? Well, as he did, when a man lack vision is bound to take every advice that comes his way. Thanks, just want to make common sense. As for the 20-year-old young man, I blame the background, Honorable Malone. To me, we don't have governor. No, you can't say that. How can you buy a truck for federal government, but you don't have even one? Now, really big shame. Timothy from Abreka Igbelu. Nice, send that one. NLC should not make us believe that the last prayers that was sent to their mailboxes after visiting the president on the last protest have finished. Now they need another one. They should leave us alone, please. Well, it's 600. We have had enough of them. Mr. John, they send that one. Well, this one say, good evening, Mazi and MC Kuro. Governor Sim don't buy fire truck for federal airport, but he refused to also repair federal road at Elimi Akpaja axis. Mr. Lucky.
Okay, Mr. Lucky, that one strong.
That one did deep. Mazi, that one did deep. Now this one, Mazi, the messages are loading.
Okay, make I take for Facebook fast. Jeffrey Joe, he said, Mazio, I want to ask who the Nigerian Labour Congress help. He said they are of no value to me. Even the era of Oshomole had that most people were given ovation. Okay, they're given ovation. I see nothing Oshomole did as a Labour leader. Okay, he said the only one thing I always see is them. Okay, in them is injecting more hardship to the suffering of the masses. I have never seen or witnessed a situation where pump price was increased and the labor went on a rampage, and the pump price was reversed back to original before increase. Instead, they inject more people. Okay, instead they inject people with more hardship throughout the days. He said throughout the days they likely go on. Okay, they likely go on that show of shame. This time around, tell them to go and pack one side. Okay, Jeffrey Jonah, you put that on paper there. Thank you. Goodness, David said, Mazi, can we trust the NLC? I tell you my name now. Goodness. Okay, Goodness. Okay, we see you. Okay, thank you. Make I check the ones that come earlier. Okay, Samson Upamazi say good evening, Mazi and MC Kuro say happy new week. He said let us leave a Nigeria problem of APC people and their government to. Okay, we don't hear you. Chile doing here. He said good greetings to you, Mazi. God, he said please tell the labor union not to add to the sufferings of Nigerians, knowing that there is a global economic problem facing the world, and that Nigeria is doing well home and abroad. Okay, thank you very much, Edwin. Sunday Eberendu is a Mazi and Msikuro on a good evening. It says Mazi and Msikuro on a good evening. Okay, it's a how you guys doing? Well, guys are doing fine. Thank you very much. He said doing great. Okay, thank you. Yes, he said Mazi Labor no get talk at all because nobody is ready to listen to them. He said this night they will change their mind. Okay, thank you very much. That's on Sunday Berendu. Okay, make I take this one. We go take favor. Okay. Favor Chukwuezi is Chukwuezi is Mazi and the crew is a good evening. NRC should ignore of the government. Okay, said should ignore the plea of the government and go ahead with the strike. The government is deceptive. Oh, the message just they pour plenty. Welcome success. I go make I take this one. Welcome success on. It's a good evening, Mazike God and I'm secure. Uncle Maswell. Okay, sir. Talking about the little boy of 20 years who killed his father. To make should be judged based on his father and mom, and who couldn't monitor and direct him on how to make money with his hands and brains. Secondly, the pet pressure in the streets. Okay, these days is alarming. God will help us. When no agree join and join tech. Okay, when you know not agree join them, you go join technology. Okay, that one is good. Take sharp.
Governor Sim used part of the 5 billion palliative. I take that information.
That's knowledge, you don't get that information.
From come on down. Rivers State government buy fire truck of fan. It is obvious that Rivers State government is like that of a man who don't care, taking care of his wife and taking care of someone else's wife. Mali, you use one word for the last
Cynthia, send your message. Send your number come. Cynthia, 6385. Send your number come now before 6 o'clock.
Mazi evening. Hilary Woroku. That be my name. Mazi, parents are trying look corruption. Trying to look this corruption has come to stay in the world. Look, I don't believe in giving biblical names. Mazi, do you know I was robbed by a man who is called Abraham? So what are we talking? Hilary, now they send that one.
Won't confuse us.
The messages then they load. They get some network.
Okay. Make I take this one from John Peters. He said, Mazi, did NLC said they want to go on a strike tomorrow? I think they are meeting with the federal government today. Listen to 10 p.m. news today. If you will not hear another news, because it said prayers must either Okay, prayers must enter their email box today. John Peters. Thank you. Okay, I take Niger Delta man. Okay, Osakio Oma say good evening, Mazi and countryman, and if Sikuro say Yaga. Mazi governor Sim donate service. Fire service motor to Port Harcourt International. Yes. He said Mazi, our governor is doing well. He is in the right track. Mazi, the boy who killed his father for money rituals, Mazi, that boy should stop all this nonsense. Okay, boys should stop all this nonsense. It will not help them. Okay, it will not help them in future. You rest your case there diplomatically. Well, take from that side.
Good evening, my correct people. Thank you to Governor Singh for the fire truck. But the problem is anytime they call them for emergency, either there will be no fuel or the truck would be for mechanic hand. It is well, Desmond Ezekiel from Ilios 90 cents.
Oh, Desmond Ezekiel, thank you very much.
Then this one say, good evening, presenters. I hail our golden governor for donating a fire service truck, a fire service fighting truck to feed to the federal authority. May his days be long. I pray he would donate all the local governments to all the local government council. To those who want quick money will experience the Agalacha as the Iba first son in the send.
Okay, make I take it from Malay or Hanoi Arms. He said it is obvious that the brown envelope that was given to them the last time has finished. As I watch the man this morning, he's getting fatter. His cheeks has come out and he's getting fairer. So I don't think that this will bring any solution because they are not serious. All right, I'm going to make you leave them there. If you not take your SMS, no verse. Cynthia never send your number come. No verse. If you never take your call, no verse. Tomorrow we go continue them again. 5 o'clock, we can make it no miss them so that you go be the first where we go fit take your call and your SMS. Oh yeah, Biari J. On our corner, and don't forget to say if you meet me for Facebook or Mazi Ikegod, you can drop your message for inbox there. Ask us any question about how we go take promote your